you could live a dream, but you just failed to see it. There is always another day. For you there's another round. No day is ever too late. There's always a way out. You got everything that you need. Everything that you need. Hold on, hold on. You've got everything that you need. Everything that you need. Hold on, hold on.
Welcome back, everyone. Rocky Sports Center, Miami, Florida. Danny Fanta. We got Bonamont here. We got Vincent here now. And it's time for the second semifinal to determine who will join ELO throwers in the grand final. It's Novum versus Death by Gamers, boys.
Yeah, this is a Novum team that we've been talking up a lot, haven't we?
We have. And for a good reason. They went undefeated yesterday in their best of ones. They won 8 best of ones in a row. They are by far the favorite going into this playoff series.
Yeah.
And so Death by Gamers, they've got a tough task ahead of them, don't they?
I think they do. And, we watched Death by Gamers the other day. They had some good games. They had some not so great games. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be an attainable victory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand if you ask one of these players, they're going to tell you different. But
Yeah, they've been warming up. They were warming up during the final map there. It's something that Death by Gamers, I mean, you're going to have to run out to a large lead.
Yeah.
Novum's executes on T side on any map are dangerous. You have to run out on them. You can't play trades. You can't play the 6-6 game that didn't work. You've got to stretch that lead out early.
Yeah.
Speaking of maps, we got a couple of them down here. Nuke Inferno gone. I'm not sad to see Inferno go. Anubis, we've seen a bunch of Anubis as of late. Like back into the day, we had 3 Anubis maps, and Ancient has been a mainstay, especially recently in North America. So it doesn't really surprise me to see these couple of maps come through.
You know what does surprise me?
Tell me.
That decider right there at the end. Dust 2. If we do manage to get to it, which would be really, really fun, we do have Dust 2 on that decider. But Novum, I think they have a really good advantage going into this. It's going to be really tough for Death by Gamers. I think what they should execute here is they've got Anubis. That's their pick. If you can get off to, like Bonamont said, a really good lead and hold on to that, then there is a chance. But again, it really is going to be a fight all the way through. Every round, I think you have to celebrate if you're Death by Gamers, honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's something they're going to have to come out strong on their map pick. Honestly, they're going to have to get an 8-4 or 9-3. Honestly, on the first side, in order for this to make sense, really. And then if they pick up the pistol, maybe 1-2 right off the bat, and then kind of slug out the remaining 2 at that point. Just try to pick that up.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know what the right setup to make this happen. But what I do know is that if you can catch Novum off guard a little bit, maybe toss something in that they aren't really expecting, that's where I think they're going to find the most success. And why are we setting this up as such a very difficult story for them to make their way through for Death by Gamers? It's because Novum, I mean, they're a team, you mentioned undefeated, continued to dominate. That was very much a domination. They didn't drop, I think, more than 8 rounds against anyone.
It was pretty insane.
Yeah.
And that was up against Ara, who we just watched go down there in the other semifinal. So it outside of that, it was 13 4s, and that was consistent.
Yeesh. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, this is a group of guys that have played at almost the highest level, and they've been around for a while, and we know a lot of names on this Novum roster. They're just super talented individually, and not just that. It's just the way that they were playing yesterday. They seem to be so well coordinated in their attacks, in their defense as well. Just everything is working out for them in every single facet. I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of gaps in the defense or things that you can exploit for Novum. So this is going to be a test, probably the biggest test for Death by Gamers here today. And we should be getting started fairly shortly here. And that first map going to be getting underway quickly.
So do we have, here on the couch, any Death by Gamers believers?
Oh, I always believe. I've said it as probably 3rd or 4th time. I believe in the underdog. There is a chance that they don't take the second map. I will probably just gamble away my life savings if that happens, particularly on the second map.
So Ancient, definitely a Novum situation.
Oh yeah, there's no way Death by Gamers has the executions for Ancient. It's not going to happen at this point. But on their own map pick, the reason you would pick that, you've got something up your sleeve. It's just a matter of is it going to work? at this point. And against Novum, that's maybe they've got that little hidden talent, that secret key that they can kind of unlock in this situation. We'll see.
To be fair, you might wonder why you're so confident about the Ancient situation. That's because, I mean, Novum specifically looked so well drilled on that map yesterday. We just saw them consistently taking space everywhere, and there was nothing that their opponents could ever do about it on Ancient. So, Anubis, here we are. As you mentioned, Death by Gamers electing to bring us here. We'll get underway as start out on the T side.
I mean, we've already seen Elo throwers. They took down Aura just not too long ago. So, I mean, I would say they're much less of an underdog in that matchup. But here at Death by Gamers, looking to get off to a quick start. Smokes in towards mid as they drop down and try and split onto this B site. Enzo is waiting for the E-box push, and it's right through the smoke. That's a tough one, landing right on the dome. And one of these Death by Gamers players, and they are getting swarmed right now, unable to do much. It's a good shot back from Bernie. But how much more can he get? He's already down to just under half HP and walks right into the crosshair of Vine. And one thing we know about Novum is these guys, it doesn't matter who their opponent is, they are going to trash talk.
Yeah, gotta get vocal. That's a big important thing just in general, but let your opponents know that anything they do, any mistakes they make, it's being seen, being heard, and well, they'll know.
Yeah, I think specifically they chose to sit there as well because they're right underneath the crowd mic. So anything they say is definitely going to be picked up. We're definitely going to hear that.
That's
clear
true.
as day.
They also sat there for all of their other stage games.
Yes, they specifically asked if they could sit on that side.
And I think definitely part of it, as well as just feeling comfy because they've been there a bunch of times already. Is this? Why is the Glock like that?
Maybe Jeff just got an awesome view model, and we're just unaware of how good it is.
Not a no.
Like Duke Nukem.
Yeah, for real.
All right. Well, nothing going here for Death Gamers. 3 players down for the count swiftly. They don't have a lot here. P250 being the best thing available to them. On RTX, he drops down. And that is an easy cleanup round for Novum. Not much to say about that.
No, just these executions, they look a little unsure. There's no pop flash into main here, although it's an eco at that point. There wasn't a lot of hope left in the round. Maybe hoping for a bomb plant here, didn't really get it. So we'll see how decent the investment is in the next round. They're going to be a little light on utility though.
Fair enough, yeah. And I mean, we can see how light that actually is. Missing, I think the big ticket item is missing the Molotovs you really enjoy having for or late side exec, and they've already invested the one that they did have. So Death by Gamers playing on hard mode from the rip as Enzo gets a little bit of space here at bridge, and he's going to walk all the way through this smoke. That's outrageous.
That's a bit of a lack of respect right there from Enzo. He walks right through, does get punished for it. And Death by Gamers, they are up a player here. And the question is, what is the decision in the mid round? They've got a couple players pushing through mid. A couple players now working in towards a main. There's a smoke there that will fade shortly. And they've actually completely given up this A site.
Yeah, I think really in this 3v4, you've got to commit to one of the sites at this point here, and it doesn't look like they possibly chose the correct one here. Just one player left on A site, head back to boat.
Retake certainly going to be attainable for Novum. Mason's maintained control of Heaven and got a lot of space there. We're going to rip Kirby's head off, and that will open things up. It's a trade. One man isolated towards the side. It's actually towards cutout. Mine's going to lock him down. R3 on low HP, and everybody in the same situation. A couple of bullets for R3 could absolutely seal the deal for this round. Got to be careful if you're Novum. Don't line up! But he'll hit the shot. And he's got them all 5 in the round to pick up the ace.
Yeah, would have liked to see him back up a little bit there, play the patient game. They hadn't even tapped it yet, and he might have just had one of those players walk right into his crosshair. Instead, goes to the peak and is taken down. And this was a 4v3 for Death by Gamers as well. So unfortunate that they're not able to convert right there. That will leave them scoreless here on their T side. So looking for an answer so far.
It really looks like we've got the immediate B-Lurk going ahead with the smoke out of spawn there from Bernie. It's going to be an interesting round here, especially, once again, light on the utility factor here. They're not making a lot of mid-aggression. It's typically a very valuable control point here on this map.
Yeah, it certainly is. Instead, they're in a bit of a default right now, not really pressuring that mid area, just trying to ensure that they aren't going to get overwhelmed by maybe something like a crazy push that Enzo did the other round. That's not happening, at least not for the moment for Novum, showing a bit more respect, but this is a group of 3 CTs hanging out towards the A site. But with decisions not made, and Mason gone down through the smoke, that's a nice spam from R3.
Yeah, it's really risky with the AK. You can see the tracers come through, but he lines it up perfectly. And Mason wondering how he's dead right there. RTX, a lot of space here, in towards mid, pushing forward, trying to connect with those A players. There is a rotation on the way here. RTX around the corner, he goes, nearly gets that kill, not quite enough. Kermi wins that fight. But it's still this execute. They're committing to it right now. Pop flashed in by himself. And now the ult from CLX has to come through. He's already picked up 2. Is really impressive. And a 3rd as well. That is fantastic from the Opera of Novum.
Yeah, just simply they couldn't molly him out of pizza. They didn't have the Molotov for it. He just sat there and just punished.
Yeah, that's and back to the point where, you know, Death by Gamers investing. You got the bomb plant that gives them enough to get AKs and armor on the majority, but the lack of utility, the late round hit, it's come back to bite them once again. Novum taking advantage, and not only starting to, but specifically Vine has built a huge amount of cash. She's at 10K right now.
Oof. That's real dangerous.
I love this play, though, the Tech 9 rush. I love to see it.
CLX, he's positioned on the other side of the map now. He was over towards A last round, switching things up here. He's got the opening kill. Might get another one. Up with the jump, though, able to get above that crosshair. Now they've exploded out onto the site. Oh, my goodness! A no-scope from medium range right there from CLX. It's going to give up this B site, though, well, at least for a moment, until Vine is able to contribute. And R3 just looking to at least get this bomb planted. Now, he will not be able to do so. Mason takes him down.
And Nade was kind of hunting him there as well. Unfortunate. But Death by Gamers, they're just not finding any space to work with. This one for CLX, just nice shot initially. Gets the Molotov down in order to provide some coverage, ensure that they're not going to get run down from 2 different angles if there was players out towards B main. That wasn't the case, though. And we're going to see the timeout tactical from Death by Gamers. What exactly is going wrong here? Like, what are we seeing?
Yeah, at this point, you're seeing a really big lack of executes. At this point, Anubis is definitely a big trade map. You've got to flood a site at some way or another. You can split 3-2 on a lot of occasions, but you have to actually execute. You've got to molly that player off of pizza. They've been playing it 3 rounds now in a row. They've had a player in pizza at some point. We know there's a player on plat. They will rotate quick off of mid. You've got to get those executes out.
We'll see if they can adapt. Timeout taken, a little time to talk it over.
Best utility that they've actually had pretty much all map as well for the T side. So keep that in mind.
Oof. Nice nade right there. Enzo feeling the full force of that one. Mason has already made his way all the way out of A main, and there's a smoke there as well to make it seem like he's just hiding behind it. But in fact, he is pushed very far forward here. This is great positioning.
Well, they know.
Oh, R3 is clearing this, though.
They know something's up. But he dropped into the water, I think, off the basket there. I think that's what's giving it away. Spotted out. Mason doesn't know that he has been found out and will go down without much of a fight. Here's the advantage that Death by Gamers have been looking for. 5-on-4. Just need to group up, play this together.
Yeah, they've still got some. They've got a lot of utility to make and execute here. Definitely, this is a lot better round coming off a timeout. This is exactly what you want to see. You want to see these executes coming in. They know they've got that off north place pizza. It could be aggressed. We'll see how they can definitely play this out.
I mean, they had a player advantage before. It was a 4v3 a couple rounds ago, and CLX was the one to play spoiler here. He's already gotten one as they try and run in, and the flank is perfectly timed by Vine. Oh, he's picked up a couple as well, and it's fallen apart again. That advantage ends up really giving them nothing. It's a good kill back from RTX, but he's so low. 20 seconds to go here, and the bomb is back in water. So nothing going there. CLX once again, in conjunction with Vine, shut it down.
And that's where the advantage play that doesn't end up working out is concerning.
Yeah, the Vine here was on 13-0 at one point here. Wasn't able to collect that last one, knocked him down to 5 HP. But definitely playing the raid boss scenario here, especially CLX, just pizza with an op at this point here.
Having a good time, and, well, like gamers, they're going to be feeling confident off the back of that. It's bad when you're getting run over, but when you get an advantage and then you lose the round, it's even worse. Makes it so that your confidence knocked down a peg or two. That spam, it looked on target, but Scoob gets taken out. Enzo seeing the tracers come through the smoke and track him down.
Against a team like Novum, you've got to be able to utilize any mistake that's given over to you. Now Bernie gonna explode his way through. R3's got that opener to make some space a little bit. Now we'll get that bomb down. Okay, this is the best chance they've had so far in this half. Novum gonna start working their way in. Enzo dropping down from the window. Mason pushed up pretty deep right now. Throw a smoke in to at least give him some cover from the left side. And now around the corner he goes. Good trade in off his teammate, but he's got to get all of these kills. Switching over to the AK, not in time. Effective trading from Death by Gamers, and they finally get their first round on the board.
You know, it starts with one. We got one. We need 12 more at this point here. You know, you got to get something on the board here. It's a good round. They got the executes out. They were able to actually trade out their players. Their spacing was a lot better, really, on that execute as well. It was definitely good to see.
And it helps when you're taking some of those more risky engagements and then you're winning the fight. I mean, that shot that we saw in the replay package a second ago, where I think it was Kermie who goes down back sight, that's very nice to see. It's Bernie winning that engagement to open things up and make sure that Death by Gamers had a nice runway into the B site.
It's more of a spread out look here. Enzo, he gets the initial kill, but there are trades back and forth here throughout the map. A battle for mid continues, and it's just ended with that kill from Enzo, leaving R3 and Jeff, who have been holding hands the whole way here in this round, now to do everything.
It wasn't just over at mid. Full control of the B area as the A-take comes through. Okay, R3, nice job. Enzo isn't expecting CLX on half wall, but the fact that CLX stays alive here makes this even more difficult. Headshot through the box. And now there's just one man left. Vine will take him down. It is 7-1. You win one round, and you're instantly knocked back down.
Yeah, the spacing I just mentioned on the last round, spacing was a little bit of an issue there, especially in mid. They weren't in any sort of a trade position. CLX wasn't playing pizza there. They didn't check it. He had rotated back to broken at that point. Didn't take any damage on that first engagement. It was pretty hard to shut him down after that.
I think that Death by Gamers would have a much easier time if they had just grouped up and hit a site together. I know I get the idea with that default approach when you're looking for those picks, but in these 1v1s against these talented players on this Novum roster, it's so difficult to get 1v1s like that. Not only get them, but win them as well. And so we'll see if Death by Gamers can switch up their playstyle here. They've taken another timeout as they want to try and switch up their strategy.
Yeah, it's their second of 3, and you know what? I agree with you. Taking those individual duels, probably not the most ideal scenario. At the same time, you have to command some map control if you're on the T side, even if you're going for like a very quick exec. I think if you don't have some of that map control, then ultimately Novum are never going to respect it. So that's the goal of that default. It doesn't work out there. Speaking of Novum not respecting it, right? The B main push.
You know, the last round Death by Gamers 1 actually came off a timeout. We'll see what happens here.
Change of pace. Heading out towards B. Kirby gonna grab the first vine. And E-Box has the support. He'll get one more before Scoob can close him down. Should be enough space to try and get the bomb down as soon as it's regathered. Man, Mason caught out in a 2-on-2 now.
Yeah, he wins it cleanly as well. Not taking any damage right there. RTX already super low. He needs to be the one to kind of bait for Scoob right here. But no, he swings out first. That's a good trade from RTX, though. And now has the ability to reposition, but no info as to where CLX is right now. Being patient behind those flames. It's an AWP as well, so if he misses the shot, could convert that spray. Oh my goodness, that is disgusting from CLX.
Quick as you like. That's a devastating one to lose out. Novum picking it up, and yeah, that click from CLX. It's absurd.
Gotta see that again.
I think we need to find Dr. Poppers. You know, if they're still around the area, we may need a doctor to check on his wrist at this point.
Yeah. Give him the help he needs.
Don't know if Dr. Poppers is a doctor. We'll figure it out later.
Probably isn't.
I have some Band-Aids.
Somebody get the first aid kit. Death by Gamers, though, looking to be the ones who need it, not CLX, because at the moment they are down and down bad.
Down horrendous.
Okay, we're not there. It's 8.
Okay, Scoop, Bernie, they get a kill each, but it's Mason to go through mid. And, I mean, they're just kind of suffocating right now.
So we're playing deathmatch.
I guess that's the case.
Okay. I could be into that. I am a deathmatch enjoyer.
Well, you know, I mentioned that someone needed a 9-3 or an 8-4 out of here. Not Novum, though. Definitely. Death by Gamers needed that.
Oh!
That's massive. R3 lines him up. A little bit unfortunate there for Kirby and Mason, who go down to it. But CLX has been delivering in the 1v1, as we saw previously. That's a smoke for... well, no, it's an E-Box smoke. Or is it just a miss smoke?
It missed entirely. Yeah,
You're just smoking off B stuff.
unfortunately.
Just didn't want to get pushed out of B main.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't think that that's where the temple smoke was, but...
It worked. He went back E-Box.
Yeah, no, he's fully walked all the way down mid. 50-50 here. 30 seconds. He is going to go through camera.
With a straight face again.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Air quotes.
It worked. Yeah.
Yep. It's an NA nade specialty at this point.
I mean, as much as I'm giving you a hard time, it has been
He's there,
effective
yeah.
to pull CLX off of where the bomb eventually went forward. And with an AWP, this becomes a lot more difficult. I mean, there was potentially guns to grab.
No. CLX was in the 1v1 just a round ago and made that look easy against the rifle. So he's got another chance at it here. Can he go 2 for 2? He's 12-3. Been very impressive. R3 very deep back here right now. Oh, Pro's never fake. He's going to get it. Wow.
That was Enzo, by the way.
Roaring laughter from Enzo. He is the loudest one in the group.
Absolutely. And, yeah, I mean, this is a valiant effort from R3, right? Bringing this back, it was 1v3 to begin with, and he lines up 2. I think ends up playing that. Maybe needed just a second more.
Yep.
Like, once you're seeing nobody there for the first 10 seconds, it's probably not going to be through CT, but there's no right answer for Death by Gamers in that scenario as we climb down to the last couple of rounds of this half. It'll be CLX to both close out rounds and open them.
Yeah, you need a smoke there. I mean, more often than not, we see
just need
T's.
to not be there, actually.
Or that, too. I mean, just don't give him that for free, and Mason is eating good as well. A couple good trades back, though, so it's still winnable. Molotov in for cameras. Kermit not going to press forward there. That would have been certainly risky. He's going to wait for the rest of his teammates' support pushing in from the flank.
Yeah, the interesting part is CLX is still alive, so it's not winnable.
No. He's getting bombarded right now.
What a chunky nade as well. Kirby tosses one in, and it does like 40 damage. That was fantastic. With that, 10-1, it's looking very dire for Death by Gamers.
I think they know they're on camera at this point as well.
Yeah, I think they might. True to their name, Death by Gamers, that is what's currently happening. Novum are gamers.
Death to the gamers, but not the gamers that
Hold
they...
on a second.
No.
Whoa.
No, death to the gamers, but not the gamers that they want to be dead. Unfortunately, it's them.
I
They're,
think Danny wants us to die.
whoa.
That's what I just heard. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, how much more is left in the tank here for Death by Gamers on Anubis?
It was already on empty before it started.
Oh,
It felt like it. I mean, I'll be real. The timing's not going to work out for R3. CLX grabs him, knocks him down. There's even more to be found thanks to Mason out today. 2-on-5. Any takers? Not true for Novum. They are playing passive. It's a deep E-box smoke. But
Scoop looking a little bit shaggy here with the hesitancy and trying to push down T steps and take that aggression over towards A.
all right. Well,
Don't worry, guys. It's a CT side.
that's halftime. And
It is a CT sided map. I concur.
do you?
Yeah.
I do not. I think that whatever side that Novum on, it's them.
that?
It's Novum sided. Yeah, I think that's what we'll go with here.
Yeah. I mean, that's also a fair take. I don't know. I don't know that there's a lot to talk about here.
To analyze,
if I'm being
yeah.
honest. This is Novum coming out and showing what sort of players they are, how individually skilled they are. But even that, right? There was some rounds where it was kind of Novum just deathmatching a bit. That's not been the case the whole map.
Mm-hmm.
They've actually played with some respect pretty consistently.
Oh, RTX thought he had a bit of a lineup in that smoke. It's going to go over the head of a couple of those players. Kermi will get first blood here. That allows the bomb plant for Novum to be secured on this B site. Spamming through, hoping some of them land. Right now, Novum know they just have to play the waiting game. Enzo stuck in the corner here. He's got two players aiming back at him, but he's able to isolate these duels, and him and CLX clean up the rest of those players.
Yeah, that really just kind of told the story. It was a relatively dry execute. They smoked off street there. It was just a simple take. CLX is still alive. They still have not found a way to kill him at this point. We got to do something.
He might have some sort of witchcraft. You know? Like
Does
a
he have God
Philosopher's
mode?
Stone type of deal situation.
Like SV cheats God mode? Is it enabled? Can we check?
I'm going to say probably not enabled. There we go again. Same situation. This time, a little bit less defense on the site. Nobody committed to it. The exit through mid, not ideal, but the kills are working out. Not quite favoring Death by Gamers, but an even scenario.
Yeah, I really want to see something here from Scoob. Oh, switch to the Swag 7.
Swiggity swaggity.
Oh boy. Flank is on the way, but it is being watched. There's a supporting flash right in there to help Mason clear this area. Another one as well, but Jeff actually wins it out. And now Vine has to play Ring Around the Rosie here. And Death by Gamers, after a long drought, they've finally gotten one back.
That they have grabbed a couple of AKs and they're happy about the Mag 7 finding some impact. Novum are taking down a peg for the first time in a little while. This is actually the best gun in the game. It's the 5.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely underutilized CT side. We've seen it a lot here at Frag, which has been amazing, and it has done some work as well.
Apparently, this is a hot take, but I've had this take, Danny knows, for a long time. There's no point in buying the CZ ever when the 5.7 exists, in my opinion, even with the buffs that we just saw.
I mean, the CZ is good in its own right, and I've seen players use it effectively, but overall, the 5.7, better bang for the buck, I think, by far.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can put it into good positions, the CZ. It's just,
Yeah.
I'm a hater.
CZ hater.
I am. Hey, you know, listen, I recognize that I am a hater.
I think the Zeus would probably be more effective with its recent boost as well.
Okay, that may be a little crazy.
That's a hot
You
take.
talk to Rops about that and let me know.
Okay. I'll discuss it in our next weekly meeting.
Oh, man. Enzo, he is way up in mid right there and is kind of putting a pinch on this B-site anchor. There's nothing he can really do. He's getting attacked from all different sides. Bomb goes down 3v2, and they've got a long journey over from the A site.
Hey, but look at the damage, right? Enzo attacked low, Vine doing not so hot on 6 HP. The biggest issue for Death by Gamers is that they're working against the clock, and they are taking their sweet time getting back in, especially with how deep Vine was. He's made himself known, but again, he's the low HP guy, so as much time as he can waste is well worth it. About halfway gone that time. Scoob tag down, Jeff on his left. Jeremy gonna shut them both out. That'll be the round, the game, and map 1 done and dusted.
I mean, I can't say that we didn't expect that coming into this. It was just very one-sided. And for Death by Gamers, it's just a better team. There's just better players. It is what it is, I mean, they fought so hard yesterday to make it and get that 4th and final spot here in the playoffs. But they're clearly, in my opinion, probably the lowest out of the seeds for these teams.
Yeah, I mean, they are 4th seed.
Yeah,
So
you do what you can.
I do want to point out that Kirby, the last 2 kills were actually with a FAMAS on T side.
we finally got it.
We did.
Never forget.
We finally got it.
It took us all the way to our second semifinal, but shout out to FAMAS OP on T side. They are not here today, but they were a whole lot of fun to watch yesterday in the group stage.
See some discussion going on here. They're trying to work through some issues. They'll need to get it cleaned up quickly because, unfortunately, now they're going on to basically the home territory of Novum, and that is Ancient. So, good luck with that.
Yeah. All right, Danny. Yeah, I thought I was the hater in this group.
I'm just telling it like it is.
Yeah, no, hey, like I said, I'm the hater, so you won't find me disagreeing. I just, I thought that side of the couch was like the positive vibes, good energy. I thought I was the downer. We're just swapping roles. It's all good. You are a champion, though. I see.
Well, no, the Buccaneers. But yes, I consider myself a champion with them because I've been a fan of them for years. So
There you go.
But
yeah, overall, I think there was 2 main issues for Death by Gamers. The first of which, I mean, they just weren't able to shoot back well enough. There is a significant skill gap. And I mean, it's not nice to say, but it certainly is the case.
Facts, yeah.
And beyond that, like Novum, they have so much experience that they're not gonna. Even if they're playing aggressive, which they were in a lot of these cases, they're still playing to win. They're playing tradable positions, and even when there was moments that Death by Gamers could find some impact, could find a way back in, those like 3v3 scenarios, they were just always going the way of Novum. And then even in the 1v1s, we talked about CLX big time. I mean, that guy couldn't lose in one of those clutch scenarios.
Yeah, it's really interesting here. We're going to get in here shortly into Leadify stats, but it just seemed like even the rounds they won, a broken clock is still correct 2 times a day. At this point, they did get 2 rounds.
They
okay.
did. Are you saying that they're broken?
Not necessarily broken, but the skill gap is broken.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, looking kind of down the line here, Vine, a guy that we just talked about nonstop, CLX in the same boat, and yeah, those are the 2 guys that kind of leading the charge, at least on the HLTV rating side of things. But overall, right, they just dominated.
Yeah, Vine's been good all tournament long. That is kind of he's the separator. He's the one that kind of shines above the rest most of the time whenever I do see this Nova team playing. CLX really was huge. I mean, whenever he had the op in his hands, which was almost always, considering they were able to build up so much money and go on that long win streak, he was that anchor. He was rock solid on defense, no matter where he was placed throughout the map, and that's a big reason why they were able to win so convincingly.
Indeed. I think overall for this next map, I think you got to forget about what just happened.
Oh, yeah.
You can't.
That's a
have to.
must.
You can't be thinking about the fact that was your map pick or whatever. You have to just be thinking about next game. You know, GG go next. I know that's the meme, but it's for real.
It's the truth.
And, overall, looking at the stats here, it's not crazy. Really, the disparity there. It's just someone clicked the mouse just a little bit faster and had a little bit better aim.
It is funny. I mean, you look at some of the time to damage as well. Everybody just a little quicker to get that first engagement happening.
Yeah, we can actually see that with stats. I think with your own eyes you can see it as well, but now you've got the numbers here to back that up. And these guys are just they're talented. They've been around for so long, and it is what it is. You try your best if you're Death by Gamers, and we've got some more stats to look at here. They weren't even. You can see average unused utility. They didn't even feel like they needed to use it because they didn't have to. They could just out aim.
Yeah, I believe we brought this up before that maybe they didn't take an economics class at this point here. There's so much money going to waste. And where is it going at this point?
It's got to be they're laundering it, surely.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen.
Oh, there's money laundering in Counter-Strike now.
Yeah, sure.
I thought the skin economy was in shambles, but apparently there's other things going on now.
They are laundering in-game cash, so Monopoly money. It means so much. They're trying to grab it for next game, but it just gets reset. We reset the server.
You gotta
It's
tell
all
them
gone.
they can't hold this over.
Just imagine like bags. You know, how there's bags of cash for like the hostage maps. And
Oh, yeah,
stuff?
absolutely.
That's what I'm imagining. Like just stuffing it in there, like walking away with it. But yeah, Death by Gamers, I think, gonna have to be a pretty impressive comeback story.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta ask, is there any silver lining that Death by Gamers can take from this map going forward into the next one?
Where's that Uno reverse card? I really want to play that one right now.
They should use that for sure.
Yeah. Silver linings. Honestly, I'm struggling to find some.
Yeah.
I feel like we're being a little doomer here though. So we're gonna head to a short break. We're gonna get things ready. We'll see what Death by Gamers can provide up against Nova map 2. It'll be Ancient when we come back.
I heard that you're better now, hiding out in a seaside town. Always knew what I wanted reflected back to me. A life like this kept me wondering if you are coming back. And I miss you in the winter with the windows down, a dazzling fire and a tarnished crown. Are you coming back? 'Cause holding on to you is like holding on to smoke. You're drifting through my fingers every time I think I'm getting close, and I go. You know it all. How you wrapped around my mind. You let me fall. 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 Walls I built all tumble down, barriers of a heart I found, and I want it back. I let you in, kept you company, gave until I couldn't breathe. Do you remember that? 'Cause holding on to you is like holding on to smoke. You're drifting through my fingers every time I think I'm getting close, and I fall. You know it all. How I gave you what I had, I gave it all. But you let me fall. You let me fall. You let me fall. You let me fall. 'Cause holding on to you is like holding on to smoke. You're drifting through my fingers every time I think I'm getting close, and I go. You know it all. How you wrapped around my mind, and you let me fall. 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 You let me fall.
Together like honey, move each other slowly, sweeter than it should be, softer than a melody. Yeah, yeah, you can have me. Close to me, you can touch me. Close to me, you can feel me. Close to me, now you love me. Come close to me, you can keep it low. Close to me, you can touch me. Close to me, you can feel me. Close to me, now you love me. Come close to me, together like honey. Love each other slowly, sweeter than it should be, softer than a melody. Yeah, yeah, you can have me. Close to me, close to me, close to me. Come close to me, you can keep it low. Close to me, you can touch me. Close to me, you can feel me. Close to me, now you love me. Come close to me. Hold me in your love, dripping from above. You wanna give it up, so come give me a hug. Hold me in your love, dripping from above. You wanna give it up,
It's time for map 2, and we're right into the action. What need to talk about anything? There was not a whole lot to talk about in that last map. Novum pretty handedly taking that one. Okay, and we're right back in it. No worries. Just wanted to see both teams pose a little bit. Enzo's picked up the double kill, working their way through. This is now Novum's map pick after they cleaned up Anubis fairly quickly. And a nice shot back from RTX. So 3v3, bomb going down.
No way to deny that plant, though, for Novum. And so post plant's getting set. Vine's going to deny any sort of push from the other direction. And it's suddenly up to Scoob, who's getting closed in upon, but it's going to close line. Enzo getting a little bit too aggressive, maybe. Flash, there's got a smoke as well. Don't know if there was a kit down, but it won't be required because Novum have themselves the first round.
Yeah, Flash pops in, and then both of them peek out at the same time. Well coordinated. Good try from Scoob, though.
What are you laughing about?
Yeah, it's always the commentary from Novum that gets me.
Yeah.
It never stops, ever.
What did you hear? What was...
I don't even know what I heard at that
Oh,
point.
okay. I thought you heard something crazy. And I didn't catch it. I was feeling left out, you know?
They've been kind of creative with some things that they say.
You know what gets me? Enzo's, like, laugh.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's
Like-
maniacal.
It's absolutely outrageous. And he knows it. That's the problem.
I think one of the funniest things for me, was it OJG yesterday when they were like, don't let us get to 4. They were down like 12-3 or something. It was really funny. I love that.
I wasn't fully locked into the conversation, but apparently there was like a tiebreaker scenario that like that may have mattered with. I don't know how.
Really?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Okay.
Things are falling apart here pretty quickly, actually. Novum, they were really disjointed. The bomb was sort of stuck outside of the B door smoke. Unfortunately, Death by Gamers are still separated. But look at RTX. He's may not have armor, but he's got a Galil.
He's staying alive here, just kind of protecting, making sure the push doesn't happen here. Just kind of feeding back some information. They're going to double take here from CT shortly.
There's that flash.
Vine tucks himself into the corner. Immediate refrag from RTX, tapping the bomb, and he's got his crosshair set on the position, and then he just runs away. He doesn't even pull the trigger. He says, yeah, that's fine, you can get away. Make it more difficult for myself. Taps the bomb. There's no kit here, so CLX basically just toying with him at this point.
CLX continued to be undefeated in the 1v1. He didn't actually get the AK.
Unlucky.
Unlucky indeed.
You know, they do like to farm up extra cash. Maybe the MAC-10 is just another cash play at this point.
You know, that would make sense if it wasn't for the fact that Death by Gamers have head armor.
Yeah.
Except for R3 and RTX. So, you know, there's a chance.
Yeah, they definitely know about that, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
They are knowers.
I did say that, didn't I? Don't toss my words back at me. That's crazy.
I think it's interesting to see how many players are using left-hand in this tournament. I mean, it just got implemented. I don't know why it took so long to implement, but now we have it. Not a lot.
I think it's interesting that we have, not only do we have it, right, but it's seen on like the Go TV.
I like that, actually.
Okay. Ooh, that's damage done. Mason, after collecting the entry frag, he's done some damage to the long player as well. Bomb is just now getting activated as the smokes fade away. R3 and RTX making life difficult for Novum on the cross.
I'm laughing because the way his body folded as he leaped out of cave. Still a chance here, CLX. Oh, man. That is just pure talent right there. He gets all 3 kills in those last 2 on 1 spray.
He's still alive. This strategy has happened, I think, now 7 times. At this point, CLX is still alive in a post-plant scenario. It's not going to happen.
You need to get rid of him. If you want to win a post-plant, get rid of that guy. If you're Death by Gamers.
We need to find out where he's going to rush here. You know, is he the entry? What's going on here? Is he throwing out utility? Just find him. Ignore the other 4. Just find CLX at this point.
Well, it's off for the gap in cave, and mostly going to be a B site hit. Here it is. Find the one to find the entry frag, and I think Jeff might be somewhat known. Regardless of the information, Novum aren't going to get activated. This is ambitious, but it's going
That's
to work
it.
out.
Oh,
They missed the deep CT smoke.
Vine is just taking things into his own hands right now. Kermie watching the flank, and he's got the right idea. R3 is there, just a sliver of the head shown, and gets it ripped off.
Yeah, I still love, even with this entry that Vine's getting here on the side, he definitely regressed into CT here. Maybe a little bit of an overheat, but Kermie was definitely aware of this player in mid as well.
It's only an overheat if you die.
It's true. It's true. I still want to see Jeff's Doom Cam, though. I'm beginning to think at this point it's actually the view model.
I think
There's
it is.
no way that's a real view model.
I mean, why else? I think he's the only guy that I've seen that has.
Also, I'm pretty sure the view model doesn't apply to spec.
You would think. So why is it Jeff?
It does. I'm being told I'm wrong.
There you go.
All right.
That is.
What? I didn't deserve that. Production, that was not kind.
So it's just so wild looking.
So weird with it off.
Oh, okay. Nice peek out from RTX. Untradeable. Okay, I was gonna say untradeable. He did not. He decided to go around instead of through donut,
That's
and
true.
that was his mistake.
A little bit of pathing error right there.
Yeah.
4-on-3. Favorite Novum.
Yeah, we're beginning to wonder here if Jeff may actually be a big Doom fan at this point.
Yeah. Oh my god. No chance. That flashbang full blind. Vine once again entering into that B site. Kermie will get punished for walking through that smoke alone, but Scoob is really nowhere to be found. He's all the way on the other side of the map.
Yeah. It's crazy as well how quickly Novum are currently searching. All right? They've left one guy over there, but they are on the hunt for Scoob. So given the fact that is a real view model, I do want to know, what do you guys think? Is that good? Is it bad?
I'm going to talk to him and try to get the config after someone practices at home.
Give it a go.
when I get back.
Why is it bad? Danny, you said it's bad.
I just don't think it looks good. Maybe it's because it's just so exotic, and I haven't seen it a lot, but I'd rather see more of the gun, in my opinion. I don't know.
Maybe Jeff is just a big chess buff fan and has watched the actual Doom Cam that has happened an absolute multiple of times on previous chess buff streams. And just maybe he just wants to provide content. Maybe he is a content creator.
Okay, I can get behind this one.
Yeah.
It's viable.
Yeah. To be fair, I do think it could be interesting, right? You are not covering as much of the screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good point.
That's very true.
I certainly couldn't do it because I mean, after 4,000 hours, I'm just hard coded. The gun is where it is, because I have it. I don't adjust my view model really. I'm just the default Andy, but I can see an argument.
I think if you want every advantage possible, you would probably go for that if you didn't care appearance-wise. Because we have seen times where if you're on that right side and you're watching an angle, that someone can just walk through and you won't see them.
Oh, we've got 5-7s in this round. I'm excited.
Oh, boy.
I hope this
All
works
of them.
out.
Every Death by Gamer.
There's one.
Oh,
Two. There's three.
We're learning to count today with Bonamon.
Yeah. I'm just here to educate the masses. I think I've said that previously. I am the intellectual savior of the masses.
I mean, you're certainly the intellectual on this couch. I can't. I mean, yesterday I was learning to count entirely for the first time.
That's miraculous.
Yeah, so that I've managed to get here without knowing how to count. I agree, that is miraculous.
Well, this round's not over just yet. Vine is up. There's the first kill. Who's next? Oh, no. Pulls out the HE. That's going to be a problem. Kermie, hold on. And he's brought it to the 1v1. He's out of ammunition, though, to the Glock. Oh, man. I mean, it's just the best thing possible for the Death by Gamers. They get 3 5-7 kills off the bat. They're handed over 2 rifles. And even then, they still can't complete it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the closer there for Death by Gamers because CLX was dead. That's what I thought was going to happen. But yeah, Kermie doing a great job. Finding success. What is that smoke? Is that a donut smoke?
I think it's
Spawn
donut. Has to be.
Yeah.
Yep, it is a front donut smoke.
Oh, it's the lurk smoke. Wait, I'm so confused.
I didn't see where it landed. I'm looking at it on the mini-map right now.
It has to be the one in, like right in front of elbow. It's that lurk smoke.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
I think it's just visually off a little bit on the mini map.
Oh, you got to swing. Okay, yeah, I was waiting for Bernie to make a move there. He does get it, so the bait and switch works out. He's got another play around this corner here. Oh, and Nate is in his hand. Just go a little bit further around. Oh, my goodness. CLX, give him some mercy, please.
That's just not fair. 2 on 3, but damage is significant on a couple of these Death by Gamers players. CLX is going to take space, served up by the flashbang, and he'll hit the first shot. Equalizer made. RTX going to continue to make the move, and has Scoob right behind him. Try to cross towards the site. Mason isn't having any of that. There's that trade. And knowing where CLX is located, this is a full 10-second defuse. CLX will get there in the one-on-one.
Another opportunity, another 1v1. Can't quite make it happen. Scoob going for that full defuse. If he had a kit, maybe, but even still, he's getting run down. Protomark keeps laughing every time Jeff's POV comes on screen.
I cannot with that. I cannot with that POV, especially
Can we
with,
get a
with
Jeff
the quick
POV round?
with the quick scope as well.
I need a Jeff POV round in my life.
More 5-7s.
These are my favorite rounds by far.
It's a 4-player stack over to the B site for Death by Gamers. Unfortunately for them, Novum have gone for the A split off rip.
Lost the coin toss. Oh my goodness. Scoob, though, still getting a kill. Long range. The rotations are starting to be pulled over, but this A site is very much in possession of Novum. Enzo holding down Mouse 1, picks up a couple as they try to work their way over towards the donut side. And RTX, he's found success with this 5-7 in a few of these rounds. Oh my goodness! This 5-7 is just disgusting. He almost gets another one, but it's not quite enough to get that round, and Death by Gamers still looking for their first.
Yeah, it's still my favorite 5-7 in the game. Monkey Business is definitely a goat instead of the fairy tale there.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I actually respect what Death by Gamers are doing here. They're being competitive on these rounds. Those 5-7 rounds that they've had have actually been incredibly crazy. They've been clawing back. They're not laying down on this.
Fortunately, it only counts if you get the round at the end and add a 1 up at the top of your scoreboard, but that'd be coming soon. We
It's a
shall
counting
see.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now.
Oh, R3, secondary pot up, and now it's taken down. Doesn't even get a chance to ring off a shot. Scoob had a flash, but he'll be caught in. Speaking of flashbangs, RTX, it's a nice one, lines up 2. One more player out of big box, and RTX has dodged all of the utility, and he can tuck back in. No danger from mid anymore.
That's a good reposition here, and they're not quite ready for him to peek out. Unfortunately, he takes a lot of damage in return, but Bernie now rotating in, providing some support. Mason is very low right now. If you secure this kill, all of a sudden it's a 3v1, and now they're in trouble. Oh yeah, this could be it. Death by Gamers breakthrough?
Yeah, that moment you had the one up at the top on the scoreboard. Mason, 3 HP, 3 players to find. Not saying it's impossible, but right now he's just playing a waiting game, seeing if any of these Death by Gamers players are going to give him a free duel.
Yeah, CLX was flanking actually through mid or B on that, and Bernie was aware and took him out. And at this point, you know, we've said it multiple times. CLX has to die, and he did. You've got the opportunity here in this round.
Mason's found a timing though. He snuck out. Oh, and that's going to be a free shot. No time to get this fully planted, and he's heard how close they're located.
Gotta stick this one now. They realize that they're running him down. There's the pistol pulled out from Jeff. Applause all the way around. We got cheers from the crowd as well. They've done it.
That is all the Velo throwers.
Don't let him get two, Vincent.
Cheering on Death by Gamers.
I'm pretty sure DPG was out there as well.
Oh,
I
are
saw
they?
some of the DPG guys from yesterday.
All right, awesome. RTX with a nice couple of of kills lined up there towards Donut. That was fantastic.
He had a good reposition as well. He was kind of behind the default boxes and then works his way over towards Donut. That was really nice. Good movement from him.
Oh, here's your Jeff POV.
Let's
right here.
go.
See how far the knife is over towards the side in that POV? Wait till
Yeah.
he pulls it out again. It's kind of crazy looking.
Am I crazy? Did Kenny S at one point have like a crazy view model like that for a couple tournaments? I just like in my brain, I might be making it up. I remember like some clips.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's Vine again. Okay, good return fire from RTX. But the space has been made. Vine has pushed very far forward. It's going to at least guarantee them the bomb plant. RTX tries his hand at that swing through on the short side. Not going to pan out for him.
Wait, why did the CT smoke themselves off?
Oh, boy. They just don't want to die.
I got news for you. Enzo's
They're going to
serving up death, despair, destruction, and sadness for Death by Gamers. They are indeed dead.
Yeah, these couple entries here from Vine. He got traded out right away by RTX, and it was Mason. Honestly, was kind of picking up the push into CT there. That smoke, I don't know what happened there with Death by Gamers, but Enzo didn't care really at that point.
No, he was not to be stopped by any means. So, Mid-Flash is getting ready. There they go, but Molotov's in position to deny that push, but Enzo is going to be just fine, taking that space, grabbing the opening engage. R3 down.
It was through that smoke, too, so a little bit unfortunate right there for R3. He goes down early. All right, Scoop. There's that MP9 again, showing its fangs. Still, though, full cave control. Now they explode out onto the B site. Jeff, don't press forward. Through that Molotov. Not going to be able to stop the plant by any means.
Trying to make your way through that deep CT smoke. It's such a problem. 2-on-1, though.
Oh, no.
The winnable CLX on the off angle, but the trade. He was low health. And Death by Gamers, they have themselves a second round.
Against all odds, they beat CLX in the 1v1. Now, I will say it was kind of a refrag, so it's not entirely a true 1v1, but still.
Wins are wins, my
Wins
friend.
are wins.
You know, zoinks. Scoob picks up the ace in that round. Can you believe it? He solved the mystery.
Jinkies.
Oh, my God. How many Scooby-Doo?
I'm a Scooby-Doo enjoyer. I could go all day, actually.
Oh, my goodness. They get their second.
Maybe CLX is Mr. Withers.
That's a deep cut, truly.
It really is. I am aging myself.
Did you know?
I apologize.
Did you know that the same guy? Though that was demonic looking.
Wow.
The light reflecting in your glasses. That was terrifying.
I am terrifying.
Nice shot. That'll be CLX fine. Opening things up. We'll get back to the Scooby-Doo references in a little bit because right now Novum have the B site. They're about to be ready to plant the bomb. There we go. At this point, Vine's just taking fights.
I would say that Vine is more terrifying than any Scooby-Doo reference or just Bonema in general. He's
What do you mean by that?
Because he was saying he was terrifying after you told him about the light in the glasses and stuff. I was like, well, Vine, he's just ripping. He's ripping through the B site. That's his domain right now. So a 10-2 half. Now, for Death by Gamers, they're trying to at least maybe get one more round than two because they got 2 max on Anubis. Trying to make some improvements here on the second one.
Yeah. I mean, and they're not too far away from that, especially if they could win like a pistol. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I think at this point you've got to get R3 enabled at some point, only sitting on 2 kills. You've got 2 people on the Death by Gamer side almost sitting 1-1 at this point, so there's definitely, it's looking a lot better. This is better than I thought it was going to be. Taking 2 rounds immediately off Novum on their map pick and showing some signs of life. We'll see how it works.
4 out mid for Novum. They're taking a lot of space, and they're fully in control of Cat. We've got to find that kill as well. Cleared out all of B, nobody there, so the A hit's got to be coming through.
Yeah, this is good. It was good for Novum until Death by Gamers shut down a couple of those players. Now into a 3v3 after the shot back from CLX. Kermi, nice flick over to the left side right there. That's Jeff down for the count. Another fight taking place in towards Temple, but all the kills going the way of Novum in the post-plant scenario. Defuse comes in as the opportunities are running out to get more than 2 rounds for Death by Gamers.
All right, well, we're going to have a second. This one's a very clean pistol round for Novum. They end up getting so much space initially over at B. There was not much of anything in that post-plant.
It's CLX with a 3K on that round as well. The flank for mid taking out Bernie immediately really kind of sealed that off pretty much for everybody there.
We are forced by Gamers with the bomb plant. I mean, expected, but honestly, they could have probably saved this if they wanted to. They're going to head out towards B. So much damage on the utility, though. And it's so quick.
Yeah.
Were we even 15 seconds into that round?
I don't think there's, no. No, apparently FAMAS is also OP on CT side as well.
That was 138. That's how, that was when the round ended.
Kermi also was the one using FAMAS on T side. So
True.
Kermi is just proficient.
That he is. Well, Novum looking to close the doors here on Ancient and just the series in general as they try to punch their ticket into the Grand Finals. They'll be facing off against Elo Throwers. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the energy with that match. It's gonna be great. Novum, honestly, here has gotten a little bit quiet for my taste. I don't know what's going on mentally.
I mean,
They're saving it possibly?
Yeah, it could be. They save money too. Maybe they're saving that too.
listen, it's 12-2. I think they're just locked in.
I've watched Dumb and Dumber and know that there is a chance.
All right, well, CLX taking those chances and putting them in the bin currently with the help of Mason. R3, we'll see if he can find anything on the cleanup crew. That's not the case. It will be Novum back-to-back, 13-2, as we get smiles on the faces of Novum. Expected outcome, but a very dominant fashion in which they pull that off.
Yeah, they only give up 4 rounds in total in that series, so pure domination. I mean, walking into this match, we figured that it would be quite one-sided, and it is. And in more cases than one, probably more one-sided than I initially thought. So, but congrats to these guys. These guys have not lost a map at all in this tournament.
True.
That is the story here. Can they win Frag Miami without losing a map? I think it's going to be more difficult
Not can
against
they
Elo
win?
Throwers. Well, can they win too? But will they drop a map?
That's a fair question.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know that there is too much to talk about with regard to some of the individual performances. We've talked up Vine a ton. We saw what CLX was doing in that one, but it was really a team effort across the board for Ancient. I couldn't even tell you who was at the bottom of the scoreboard.
No.
No, they were all aggressive. I mean, the space that they were taking with everyone, even Mason included, in that was just impressive. It's just something that they're putting on a clinic. We're just here to watch.
We're beholding how good they are at Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and when you come in with the expectations that you're going to be one of the stronger teams at an event, like I mean, I'm sure that Novum knows who they're playing against, and then deliver. That's got to be something huge to the mental there. We are going to take a peek at these Elitified stats, and I mean, it's pretty much a similar story, isn't it?
Damn near. I mean, obviously you have a couple players that are consistently at the top of the scoreboard, at least in these 2 maps. You got CLX. He's finishing at 19-4 with a 19 Leadify rating, 2.36 HLTV, 4.75 KD. That is insane. And Kermi is up there at the top, as well as Vine. It was kind of CLX and Vine on Anubis that were the 2 front runners, but Kermi now joining the fray. He's enjoying his time over there on Ancient. And a very different story over on the side of Death by Gamers. Although I think RTX played well, I think Scoob had his moments as well.
Yeah, he did. I'm saving. I have a Scooby-Doo fun fact for the end of this one.
Wonderful.
I got you. But we'll continue peeking at these Leadify stats. You don't sound excited. What?
I'm so excited to hear.
I'm just trying to share knowledge here.
I'm
like,
waiting with anticipation.
Danny,
You can change the stream category to just educational at this point.
Yeah, you truly could. we were telling the people. But just to kind of close things out here with regard to these stats, I mean, yeah, there's a sea of green up on the top of the side of this Novum squad, and honestly, it's hard to take too much away from any of the details just because they were so dominant. Like they could have had a guy like AFK on A site on some of those rounds. Like you think of that B hit that just got shut down immediately.
You think if they 4v5, they win like the entire series?
Okay, I didn't say that.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I
What are your thoughts?
you put me in a very tough spot here.
Yes or no answer. You know,
I plead the fifth.
fair enough.
Yeah. Solid. Don't want to incriminate myself. What I will say is that I've enjoyed watching these Death by Gamers squad throughout both today, yesterday as well, and hey, top 4 is not bad at all.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll take that. That's a good takeaway from it. They definitely had respectable. You love to see their smiles on their faces. They're having a good time. That's exactly what you want to see. They're chatting it up here with Elo throwers right now, but it's going to be something that we definitely appreciated their effort. They have been a blast to talk to as well. We get to talk to everybody, of course, during all the downtime. They are fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. All right, fun fact time. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what had happened was the same guy who voiced Fred from like the late '60s original Scooby-Doo show still does.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
For everything?
Frank Welker, I think is his name. Yeah, for pretty much everything.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Like all the other voice actors, I think pretty much all of them have been replaced at one point. Same guy. Since like the late 60s. It's pretty impressive.
We're educating you on Scooby-Doo, and Novum are educating on the server.
Yeah, with all of that education done, I'm going to need a few moments to try and rest my brain. We're going to get things figured out. We got grand finals coming up. Novum will meet up against Elo throwers in that. We'll see you in a bit.
drinking anesthetic as hollowing out. Falls, let the psychotomimetic whole shatter your light.
Cause your love is all I need. Cause your love is all I need. Cause your love is all I need.
Cause your love is all I need.
I'm up the shit with my brother. I'm up the shit with my. I'm up the shit with my brothers. Keep lethal weapons and Glover. First make a young nigga thugger. You know best friend is a cover. Girl on me bouncing like flubber. Boy young with money like stunner. 300 a pint pour all summer. Shoot on sight if you fuck with my come up. Your boy got a license to start this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. Sippin' Sprite pour all night at the function. Yeah, we bumped 21, ain't no jumping. Feed the X and the X did the dumb shit. Said I rock one-on-one how I've done shit. In your eyes see you jump if I smoke this. Bump an X when I flex for the youngin'.
Your boy got a license to start this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. Sippin' Sprite pour all night at the flight at the funk. Pull up to the club. Pop that.
I can't do this right now.
License to start this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. See the spike for all night at the night at the funk.
I came to rock.
Too nice is a setup. Dripped out, head to toe, peep to get up. Said the young'un be stunting in any sweater. You think you could do it better, but really could never measure. Got a Glock engraved with your name on it. And some special designs, this is a game for me. Tiptoed on the beat in Balenciagas. Dipped out of your crib in my Gucci floppers.
Your boy got a license to start this. Shoot on sight isn't right, but we gunning. Sippin' Sprite pour all night at the flight at the funk. Pull up to the club. Pop that.
I can't do this right now.
Y'all fucking hit me with the
If you wanna save me, if you wanna save me, if you wanna save me, yeah. If you wanna save me, yeah. If you wanna save me, I think I should better run, because that's the end before it began. If you wanna save me, that's if you wanna save me, if you wanna save me, if you wanna save me, yeah. If you wanna save me, yeah. If you wanna save me, I think I should better run, because that's the end before it began. If you wanna save me, that's the Is there something on your mind that's haunting you like a ghost?
People love rankings. But to generate rankings, we need a universal metric to compare between players. Many such numbers for CSGO put undue emphasis on who gets the final point of damage in a kill. It is too easy to rack up credit from unimpactful kills such as eco frags. Purely going for kills isn't always the most effective way to help your team. What we need is a metric that rewards the players who most improve their team's odds of winning the round. This is Leadify rating, a metric that accounts for economy, that properly values trades, that rewards all players involved in a kill. By knowing the odds of each team winning the round at a given moment, we can also determine how much every player's actions change those odds. If someone pushes in looking for eco-frags and dies to someone who spent no money, then they will be dramatically lowering their team's odds of winning, and as such they will lose more rating. In the long run, this leads to a higher rating for those who play smart and focus on helping the team win. This system also rewards you greatly for beating the odds, as pulling off an unlikely play creates a massive swing in win probability. Start celebrating true impact with Leadify rating.
You're in there right away. I mean, you just open up the app to get in there and just put your name in. It's very, very fast.
The audio has been really crisp the entire time. I haven't had any issues with it. There's no delay because I can just like see that there's no delay. So it's been super great using something like that that's like, as an alternative to the other apps that are out there.
The latency's good. We haven't had any issue with comms yet. Just no issues as far as
really low latency. Like it hasn't crashed, so it's been really easy to use. Like I've heard no complaints about it so far.
The peer-to-peer communication is really nice. It seems like a big priority is having super low latency, which we can definitely tell in our matches.
It's so much better than Discord because you can literally feel like they just are instantly getting my comments basically.
I really like how easy it was to set up. I've been able to hear my teammates just super crisply, and it's just been a very easy process, really nice to use. It's super fast. I mean, I can't even tell when my teammates are talking next to me. I can't hear them outside the headset because I'm already hearing them inside. It's great.
I don't know, man. You really shouldn't have hit that priest. Oh, and we are back as we jump into our grand finals here at Frag Miami. And we're going to go ahead and go for the TriCast. Why not? Might as well. We've got a matchup between Novum and what was the other team? It's
Elo Throwers?
Elo Throwers. Yes, that's right. I knew it was Elo something. My brain just couldn't work there. Elo Throwers. This is a repeat, Vincent, of a group stage match. And it didn't go so well.
I actually don't remember what the score was of that game, but
I'll give you a hint. It included 13 rounds.
and that
was it. And that was it.
Oh, they got 13-0'd?
Yes.
Oh, yikes.
I don't know the map. So, to be fair, I don't know what map they played on. It could have been some obscure map that they maybe just never practiced on, but it is best of one round-robin group stage.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen that way.
Mm-mm. Well, I'll tell you, Elo Throwers are definitely not a team that should be getting 13-0'd like that. I don't think that's going to happen again, especially not after, they look downright good against Aura. 3 maps, sure, but they did fantastic.
Yeah, more than I expect them to do, to be honest with you.
People called me crazy when I said Elo Throwers could win that.
Well, yeah, and now they're not calling you crazy. You've proven your point.
They still call you crazy just for other reasons.
Yeah, more reasonable reasons.
Yeah.
But they came into that series and it was well fought. They fought tooth and nail to the end. And to be honest with you, I think they've got some confidence riding into this next series. Obviously, we know that this is a Novum team that are by far the best in this tournament, and so it's going to be tough no matter what. But we got it. We got it.
Yeah.
Right? We were waiting for it for a long time, and we do have a Dust 2 appearance.
We've been looking for it. It's been elusive here on stream. Apparently, there was one that happened, but it was a forfeit.
I think it was there was the match last night. Yeah. It was one of the matches that ended the night off stream. It was on Dust 2. I kind of feel like this is a good Hail Mary throw right now. They know that they're coming into this one as an underdog. That's Elo Thrower's pick on Dust 2. We'll be going to Mirage, and then should we need it, we'll be heading to Nuke in the final map. So, honestly, a vastly different map pool in general from what we've seen thus far. We're going to get Dust 2 Mirage, and though we have seen Nuke played, it's definitely been maybe minimal play compared to Vertigo and Ancient, which we've seen a lot of. Anubis has been played more. Have we actually seen Inferno?
No, we haven't. Not on
wonder
stream.
I wonder if it's even been played at all.
My experience the last couple of seasons of like NA Advanced, nobody plays Inferno anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's clear what we feel about that map.
I think the map's good, personally. But I
Really?
also think that Tier 2
Okay.
teams don't like the map because it's hard.
That's fair.
The
I
map
personally
is
just don't
seriously,
like watching it. That's the issue.
Some of the most iconic moments in Counter-Strike history took place on Inferno, and some of the best matches that we've ever seen were on Inferno. But I do think that Inferno in general is a complex map to play, very similar to the way that Overpass played. Rest in peace. We love you. I think that it's all about rotates and utility control on your CT side, so your CT side really needs to control tempo with the util. If you don't have it, it can be frustrating. In the current meta, where CTs are punished economically because it's MR12 and not MR15, it is hard. It is harder than it ever was before. So I can understand, like, maybe teams don't want to play it, but
It can feel a little. I'm going to use the word random, like just because if you get caught off guard, if you don't have utility on the CT side, then everything is that like feels impossible situation.
Well, bringing it back to Dust 2, I understand the mindset here and the decision making from Elo throwers to go for this kind of surprise Dust 2 pick. Novum, I'm sure, have not played any of it recently, but at the same time, this is a map where it's very, I think, aimer heavy, and it can get kind of brawly, kind of deathmatchy. So against these talented aimers on Novum, it's going to be tough. We'll see. We'll see what they got in store.
Oh, I love this. We're going to have a Pain Train barreling down mid to start things out. T-side tries to adjust to take those long-range duels, but they're definitely scratched up and a little worse for wear after the initial exchange. It's a 3-on-5, just like 10 seconds into the round.
This is Elo throwers playing with confidence, which I think they're going to need, especially hitting the shots off the rip as well. Enzo and Mason will take one apiece, but 1v3, that's a tall task for Mason to contend with. Though they are giving him some 1v1s. There we go. A little trip got there just in time. It's worked out for round one.
Set the pace. I mean, take the fight to them. I think this is really good. You're showing that you're not afraid of these guys, and just a really good start for them overall.
Can they keep it up? I mean, the one benefit here, what we were talking about just coming into this, like that economic punish that's really problematic on a map like Inferno, usually is triggered by round one bomb plant. No bomb plant, very limited action actually in favor of the T side in general. So things will look a little bit better. And are they just going to keep doing this? I wonder how many rounds they're going to run it down mid before they finally stop. You can't blame them for doing it again. It worked really well last time, and they know that this is likely to be a raw buy coming in from Novum, and in fact it is. Well, yet again, we find Mason in a 1v many, and again, he'll get a little bit of action going their way, but not enough. The crowd's behind him.
Hey, everybody likes an underdog story. We've talked about a lot of underdog stories, and they haven't gone all that well, at least not in the last series. Back-to-back 13-2s there, but Elo throwers, I think this is a different situation. I think they have a far better chance of upsetting Novum than really anyone else, actually, outside of maybe that Aura team that Elo throwers beat to get here.
Exactly. Well, now we'll see Novum with the rifles in hand, AKs across the board here. Good amount of utility to boot. And we're going to see some aggression on the other side of the map. Now it's going to be the B site, and Enzo, I think, might have had some technical issues there.
Yeah.
There's no way he's hearing those footsteps and not reacting to that.
Yeah, I was equally as confused as to why he wouldn't turn. Very strange circumstances taking place for sure. I'm looking to see if anyone alt-tabbed after that. Just to see, like, hey, did that
he's
not
on
go
the
that
end.
well? Yeah, I can't see his POV. They'll get the kills anyway, and they'll get the bomb planted on it.
Yeah, the adjustment pretty quick for Novum, even if Enzo didn't have much to say. That was information gained, and they move back. A chance at a retake here. This is important. Mason cannot be allowed to get away with really much of anything. He's got to be cleared out soon.
Okay.
That'll work.
Nice. Unfortunately, now they have to battle against these site players, and time is ticking. So they're working on getting over here. Kermie watching that cross, a good smoke to get themselves over, but the damage has already been done, and the time is already too far gone. Vine will clean it up, and that'll be Novum to get their first round on the board.
They got to be careful, though. That was an expensive round. I mean, that was a, 4-on-3 post plant? This one, I just don't know what the heck's happening there. They had this player CT. That was really pivotal. I think it was actually a different player. I think Primary Asset was the name that I saw. trying to make their way up from spawn. Had that person been able to survive a little bit longer, that makes this long play a little bit more palatable for the CTs, but instead we find ourselves here. And it's already down to a full eco.
Even when you're doing all the right things, even when you get the early economic advantage, CT side, it's brutal sometimes. This is one of those scenarios. Oh my goodness.
Oh!
He's got another one.
Lol Trip gets one, Riot gets one. Okay.
So I realized yesterday, I was not aware of this. They changed the Zeus.
Yes.
You actually get money now. I knew they changed the Zeus, but for a long time, you didn't get money for a Zeus kill. It was $0. Now you get 100.
There was an extra line in the patch notes that I was reading, and I don't know what exactly it means, but I think they changed how it works a little bit as well with how far away you can be. That it was a little cryptic, so I don't know.
Increased or decreased?
Yeah,
the
I
range?
don't know the answer to that.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out eventually.
I'm going to grab the patch
Yeah.
notes. We'll find out.
Let's take a look. Well, they've got a couple rifles, but I don't think they're willing to push any further into this retake. They'll just walk back, try and save them. Ooh, Vine nearly catches them on the retreat, but they'll be able to get out of dodge. Novum will tie it up, though.
CT side going to save these guns, and you can understand why. Money was not looking hot coming into this one. They managed to take away some guns with the Zeus play, which I'm always a fan of. I think Zeus
Absolutely.
is almost overpowered in some senses. I mean, it's just stupid strong. A little bit of a jump kill there, but
All right, I found it.
go for it.
All right, so increased Zeus movement speed and adjusted the attack cone. So to me, that sounds like they
a wider range?
Yeah,
Yes, a
yeah,
wider
exactly.
range.
So it's a little easier to aim.
Yes.
That's what I'm reading.
Yes. It didn't change the distance, it just made it so your crosshair doesn't have to be as direct, which anyone who's used the Zeus can relate to that kill where they're like, how did that not hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you won't have that problem anymore.
So
and
the
the
incentive-
movement speed thing is actually pretty big too as well.
Yeah.
That just like increases the incentive to buy it.
Honestly,
Buy a
I'm
lot.
gonna be blunt. There's no reason to not buy it.
Do you know what it was? What the movement speed? I was like, it's very close to the knife already.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the numbers are, but even still, just the fact that you have a rechargeable gun that can one-shot people from a moderate distance. I mean, I don't know why teams aren't buying it on every eco.
Well, I mean, I think we probably will see that. We've already seen it more often in this tournament, and that patch came out days ago.
Oh my goodness. Mason wants this, and he's going to get it. No refrag either, and a flash from Enzo to help him out. That's really nice. Now they're just going to sprint up Cat here. Oh, getting nothing done right there. And at this point, you're completely locked out of that ace site. Might think about another save.
All right, Pro, a little bit too greedy there. I mean, if you're dealing with that cat push, especially with they really didn't have long control, that's just ambitious to say the least.
You're talking about the op?
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of those things where you kind of just have to drop spawn and surrender. I agree. It's really uncomfortable to play that op angle. I just didn't think they probably were of that mindset. I'm dead either way.
Yeah.
So it's better to just try and hold the line. And this play from Mason, some people will be like, why'd you jump down? I actually don't hate it. He was 22 HP at that point. Already found 2 kills in the round. It's like, okay, identifying location of the remaining CTs is not a bad move. Novum is establishing the pace of play that we saw from them in the last series.
We're going to get bangers out long. This is the plan of action.
Look at the minimap, though.
They're coming right back to it.
Old Faithful?
Old Faithful. Unfortunately, it's against AKs this time. So it's the percentage of success is lowered quite dramatically. They have gotten a couple. I mean, Mason and Enzo are already dead, so.
I kind of feel like you need to control these AKs, so you either keep someone on it or you start juggling them towards long to just make them harder to find. So it does look like Novum is going to keep at least one player back, try and prevent that AK from being salvaged and utilized. Primary Asset did get 1 kill with the Deagle. That makes this a little more awkward, because now you've got your bomb on site solo. Luckily, it's an armorless Deagle.
That's an Enzo laugh right there.
So devious.
Yeah. It's like he's got it's the like fingers together. My machinations.
Evil genius.
Like,
oh man.
Alternatively, it's just Doofenshmirtz level.
Yeah.
Memory. Well, here we go once again. Finally back on some rifles for Elo throwers. And speaking of the op, I mean, something that I think needs to get activated here a little bit.
Oh.
Ooh.
awkward.
Yeah, the nade didn't quite break it as much as I think he expected. So that allows Lol Trip to go around the side there, catch him off guard, trying to switch back to his weapon. They get the initial pick, but the action
Novum
seems
have a
to
B
be...
exec?
Yeah, oh.
3 days?
I mean, the place that Kermi's in right now is a spot that has been known for lineups already, but should be a window and a door smoke.
Ooh, doesn't even need to throw that. They had some confusions. The door smoke is off the mark. The molly, it lands back plat, but there's still a player on site, and somehow he's still alive. Primal just refuses to die. Finally, the op comes in and says, don't worry, I got this. The issue is that there was so much attention towards long A at the start of the round. That gave them plenty of time to work. Even though that was a slow exec and access to the site was not exactly easy to get, the CT side didn't actually do much to resist and support. So it still falls down to a 1v3 with an op. And this is very difficult.
But this guy, CLX, he's been so clutch all tournament long. Now, granted, we've seen a bunch of 1v1s from him. This is a 1v3.
And there's the audience.
Crowd favorites.
The same thing happened in the last game, though. That's the best part. Elo Throwers was winning, and they were getting booed.
But clearly, clearly some frag has gone into this, but you maybe need a little bit of extra. Kermi tried to make a play in the 2-on-3. I think just trying to get out ahead of one of these fights, and unfortunately for him, it doesn't work out. Wild, very crispy against that AWP. Confidence. Once again, I think a big part of Elo Throwers' potential success is if they're confident like that, they can answer.
Oof. Little op duel right there. Riot is eating that flashbang and still connecting to the head of Kermi. That is a great kill to find. A gun taken away as well. But looks like Novum is gearing up to go through the double doors. Or maybe boost up onto Cat. They have options.
Look at this adjustment, right? Elo Throwers, they had the op mid previously. It took the shot early in this round, didn't quite make it, but now just solo back plat on B. And it allows for lots of control to be happening here at the A site. Full long still in the hands of Elo Throwers on a resmoke for Cat.
Player in spawn playing the angle tightly. Not really giving up much. Novum down a body, which isn't something that frequently has happened for them throughout this event. They've usually been the team with the upper hand. See, they decide to react. Again, it is important to note that Elo Throwers did select Dust 2, a map that we haven't seen this event. I think is actually the first official match in North America altogether.
Oh.
So that's kind of neat.
That's cool.
Yeah. You're witnessing firsts here.
Well, a little bit of a slower approach, trying to utilize these smokes to get out on Catwalk, but it's not worked out that well. Close range AWP isn't so good. Mason, not the clutch he was looking for as we tied this game once more. Would this also be the first Dust 2 on land?
Yeah, it could be.
Every round that Elo Throwers get right here is so helpful for them moving forward. They're building confidence. They got the crowd behind them.
They're definitely getting loud, and you can understand why. It's a timeout here from Novum. They're maybe a little bit more rattled than what we've seen from them thus far because of the fact that this is not a position they've found themselves in. They haven't frequently been in a close game. I think we said it, the closest game they had during the group stages was 13-8, and that I didn't see it, so I don't know how that 13-8 happened. That could have been 12-1 with 7 straight rounds before they ended it. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, and we've talked a lot about like Enzo and how vocal he's been. He's a guy that does a lot of shit talking, but you also have some more steady hands on this roster, like Kermi, for example, who, is a guy who will take that time out if he feels that it's necessary.
Got the classic rush beat, and he's getting shut down very quickly. The Elo Throwers adding to the tally.
Confirmation, this is the first LAN official on the current iteration of Dust 2 in CS2.
Wow.
Nice.
So, cool to see. Obviously, we've seen Dust 2 played for years and years and years and years in Counter-Strike. But with the new map pool, this will be the first time we get to see it here in CS2.
I'm glad I can be here for it.
I have a theory that I was on one of the first Anubis LAN games when it first came out. That one's unproven, though, because it wasn't on HLTV. So it's just like my
Doesn't
word.
count.
I
Yeah,
know,
does not count.
It's devastating for me.
Looks like we're going to see a lot of presence out currently towards long, as T-Side's already gained a kill out in that direction, and they're looking for more. There's like quite a battle brewing over on long. You've got Primal finding 2 kills before being traded out. There's one still up on Catwalk. That's Primary Asset with the op, picking off Kermie. But Mason's there for a double of his own in mid. Things got weird here, and it's a little scrappy, but you got Primary Asset on site with that AWP. And that angle is just that. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, Mason somehow finding the double, kind of a really late lurk. Super disjointed, but hey, he's making it work. And that, like you said, was getting a little bit scary with how far away they were from one another, but the AWP in that position up against that angle is just, it's a hard one to hit. Primary Asset was not up to the task, but this is such a close game. I can't say I was expecting this.
This is great. I'm loving every second of it. Oh, more mid-aggression. Elo throwers have shown that they're not afraid to take these early fights. This time CLX is holding that tiny little angle here, but even still, it's Primal and Lol Trip to win both of their duels respectively.
I was going to ask what the heck this buy is about. It's all over the place, but if you're going to win those first engagements, then play the 5-on-3. They don't have to be as aggressive here. They want to escape, they can do so, and that's what's going to happen. Elo throwers evacuate mid. They've got what they wanted.
Yeah, this is an interesting buy. A P250, a Scout, a couple of M4s. No kits. The Scout is armorless, so it's not even a glass cannon, like glass pea shooter. A glass BB gun. They're making their way up long, though. Mason able to pick off that Scout, so it's not going to be a problem for them much longer. There's the smoke coming down. Peaks a little early. Could have cost them. Ends up getting sprayed through it in the end. That's Enzo dropping his double play on Cat and one on sight. Nice shot coming out from Mason, who's been stellar thus far for Novum. The volley's going to go in, and the smoke will go down as well. That'll guarantee a plant out of this situation, but they have to concern themselves with the flank. They've got no one watching long. Things are going to get really weird really fast.
And here's where that no kit comes in to play. They do not have a ton of time to try and make this long flank work. Primary Asset will grab him at CLX in another clutch scenario. He's got the first, trying to isolate the duels, and ends up swinging into 2. Primal will pick up the defuse, and Elo throwers, there they are, back and with a lead.
Yeah, they took advantage of the timing right there when he was dueling the Cat player. They allowed him to cross over and then wasn't quite aware of the fact that they had made that cross already, so he had to readjust his crosshair pretty dramatically. Not able to land that flick. We've seen him win fights like that before, but unfortunately not going to be the case here as Elo throwers. You know, there's some pressure there. Novum made it close, but overall they're able to handle the situation.
That missed nade on Cat 2 could have changed the round a little bit. Maybe would have softened up that Cat player enough that they would have actually had more time to focus on the long players. Just really awkward exchange in general. The seesaw keeps bouncing back and forth, so we're at 6-5 right now. Novum's down a round. The buy that comes in, not great. You got a couple of Gleals. You got a Tech 9 in there as well, and a player already dead who's been a top performer. Mason, 15-11, 121 ADR. A lot of those kills coming in trash time. There was those 2 rounds where they rushed mid, and he found multiple kills out of that. I think he got 4 in those 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So obviously the numbers skewed a little bit, but even still, when you look at the performances Mason's had in the rounds they've been able to win, has been pivotal. And again, another player falls. Things are looking a little bit rough right now for Novum.
Well, that's
Dodgeball
confirmation that there's at least a couple.
He's out. Dodgeball rules. He's out. He didn't catch it.
I mean, he was right there. Should have just reached down and grabbed it. I like how passive Elo throws are playing this, though. They aren't overcommitting to this fight, forcing Novum to swing into them, and, well, it's not working out. Even nearly lined up, but Enzo can't be there fast enough. 7-5. I'm impressed with what Elo throwers have pulled off in this first half. Like I was saying, I think that you start out this map with the confidence, running down mid a couple times in a row, and the fact that it works out, that I think skyrockets Elo throwers and at least their mentality.
I mean, with what I've been seeing so far, Elo throwers are the better team right now. They seem more coordinated. Novum look just a bit disjointed in what they want to do. Obviously, it's, I'd say, brand new to them. Not Dust 2 in general, but they haven't played it in quite a while. So, you never know how much time has been put in from Elo throwers. Maybe they have been playing Dust 2.
Do you really think that? Do you genuinely?
Listen.
All right, well.
Scrim it.
I don't know who they're getting scrims from. Mason firing on all cylinders, though. 3 kills on the dualies up close and personal. This should allow Novum a good chance, and even better one now with Wild in the clutch.
Oof. Okay. Nice shots from the Glock. They need that player to come in from B main. Yeah, finally they get them there. I think one of the things that people forget, too, when you have teams like Novum who are pretty aggressive with the trash talk, when they're not winning rounds, it, like, inverts. It's like it has the transverse effect. So instead of them being, like, the team that feeds off that negative energy, they just implode to a certain degree. And it's not to say they, like, completely fall apart, but it's hard to get to that level again where you can feel confident that you can start shouting and doing what is effectively like a power-up for your squad.
That's when it's good to have, like that guy on your team who's always going to be like hyping you up, right? I think Enzo is that guy for this squad.
Hey, we're playing soccer, man!
They're just trying to play some soccer. You think they know each other?
I mean, a little, I kind of just want to let them talk.
I know. There's no amount of entertainment that we could bring that is better than what we just heard.
Tie game once again. Definitely has been very back and forth. Elo throwers with the full save in that last round, so they got AKs here. 3 players in towards B tunnels. Enzo waiting to greet them with that MP9 at close range and actually able to get around the corner, but Wild is going to catch him. Stops the damage from getting a little bit out of control.
On getting confirmation on a player there before dropping the smoke, and it's a lot more effective, that smoke, with the fact that Elo throwers have got confirmation. Okay, there's somebody here. It's an active hold.
Yeah, Leadify actually quantifies that statistic. That's considered a good CT smoke, according to Leadify. We got that qualification yesterday. Kermay's in a great spot for this push. The timing, though, is so awkward on those flashes because they blinded themselves, but the AK is a little bit more proficient at that distance. It still is going to be access to the B site granted over as Elo throwers take mid by storm. There's an op currently positioned deep. The smoke's going to go down. That prevents them from doing much of anything to try to stop this. The smoke's out on the door. So now you've got this long play coming in, and you've got the player coming up from mid. Do they group up? Yeah, they're going to. They're going to double push this one probably through door and window at the same time.
It's because they have this full kit of utility of CLX and the kits. I think that's what makes this a more approachable retake. Flashes come through, out the window, and Ultrip will dispatch with the first through. CLX will need a miracle, and as Elo throwers double swing, he will regain that lead.
Yeah, CLX busy throwing that utility, so he's a little bit too far away to immediately trade that first kill as they go through the window. And that leaves them in a very vulnerable position. Elo throwers back in the lead.
What's the cash like for Novum? That's the question.
Probably not great.
They had 3 MP9s last round. They were sort of bonusing. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Not ideal. CLX has kept a little bit of extra cash, but everybody else has invested.
That smoke on the door really made that a lot easier as well. It was a little bit one-dimensional because they both decided to come through the window, not opting to push through the smoke, understandably so. Oh, that's a freebie. Oh, maybe it's not free. Oh, that looked like it should have been a lot faster. Does the second one come up quicker? No. The Deagle just kind of gets away from him a little bit.
Sometimes you pray to the Deagle spam, and it just doesn't work out. And so we'll give this an attempt, but his position now known, courtesy of that utility he's just thrown. And that should make losing this round a lot more difficult for Elo throwers. Even though they have the low HP, they can just kind of tuck in.
They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him. He is not coming up cat.
He's been seen.
He's out of there.
It's over. He realizes it.
That was never going to be a really approachable retake unless Enzo just gets 2 on a double swing or something off the rip. As soon as all that utility gets tossed in at him, he is as good as dead. The key here for Elo throwers is that they're creating some distance between themselves and Novum. It's, as we talked about, been back and forth. One round here, another round there. But if Elo throwers can start to put together a bit of momentum, find at least one round, another potentially to follow with the money situation.
Yeah, I mean, with how tightly contested it has been, a 2-round separation doesn't feel like much, but with the way that it's been going, it actually is quite a bit. So at this point, Elo throwers just looking to keep the money low on the CT side for Novum, not allow them to get that full buy. Keep the AWP out of the hands of CLX as well, I think is big.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get that chance because CLX kept extra cash last time.
That's right, he did.
I wish we had a quantification for how many timeouts Novum's called this entire event, because I would bet that until this match they haven't called any. And this is 1 and 2. Obviously, technical is different. I'm talking about tactical timeouts. I would really argue that this is probably the first time they've had to use any, and they've used 2 in this first map.
I'd put money on that. I mean, their closest game was a 13-8 win. I think that was Aura. So
yes, it was.
So like, outside of that, I think all of their games have been like 13-4 or better.
It was 13-0 against this team.
That's right.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
Oof. USP popping the head off of Lol Trip. That's going to slow them down a little bit.
A ton.
Throwing some utility in. They're a little bit scared. I mean, it's a USP, so realistically, they can just run right out. But now you've got that hero rifle from Enzo activated. This is a lot of damage being done. And now Primal's taking the head off his own teammates. Oh, that's a stinger right there. As soon as you have an opportunity to give yourself a decent lead, get double digits, you lose to 1 rifle and USPs.
It's wild because Kermie bought infinite time for his team. Like, Kermie was solo over at the B site. There was absolutely nobody there, and they waited so long that Novum had the entire team coming in from multiple directions by the time they actually committed.
Oh. Taking a page out of the book from Elo throwers, who played very aggressively on their CT side and mid. The difference is the guns just don't seem to be working the way that they should. Maybe check the bullets. They might have loaded them with blanks accidentally. I'm not entirely sure. The site's just not trued up. That's a round win, but a really expensive one for Novum. I think it was, what, 1 player left? So really, they can cheer all they want, but financially, that's backbreaking for your CT side.
But it does cut the distance and puts Elo throwers back on notice in more ways than one. You lose essentially an eco. I know there was a rifle there for Enzo, but essentially a USP round that they tossed over the edge, and you follow that up. Now it's them who are broken, even with Novum only going down to the 1 player.
Ooh, this is a great read.
I go down to the lower tunnels here, and waiting for them on the other side is Mason. He's already got 3, looking for more. Has to switch over to that USP. And with that, Elo throwers will cancel that attempt and walk back into the hands of Kirby. Bruh.
We've all been there. I feel that.
Well, so what made that so good was they threw that molly down in upper B tons. So even if they wanted to try to split B, they weren't ever going to get to. They double push mid. Mason locks down lower. The other one pushes up to upper cat, basically, and is like watching the cross towards long. So even if Mason dies there, the second they try to go for the gun, that player who's top mid is going to turn around and gun him down. You've already got your support now coming over from A as well, because there's no sense hanging around A. You know what's happening here. It's just a well set up play from Novum for what was coming down the table. And you know, sometimes
we are in North America.
It do be like that.
Oh.
Wouldn't be a frag without some innings.
I think there's 3 misthrown mollies on long. One was to the right, one was to the left of the door, and run right at their ankles.
And there's now nobody coming up long. It's all Catton. It's all Enzo. He's grabbed 2. Mason provide the support coming up from CT. And though he can't find the final kill, Wild has done even better. Back down to the 2-on-2, more even scenario. I thought Novum had that one pretty much sorted.
Wait.
They're waiting for primary.
Drop down?
Oh.
Am I just seeing it?
No, I think it did.
It looks like it may have dribbled down into spawn. Oh, well, that's free. Right. Well, that's weird. I wouldn't expect that either, to be fair.
Don't you know about Whiffingtons? Come on. Shooting people who aren't looking at you, it's basically impossible.
Yeah, so that was Bomb. Bomb did drop. I mean, it's good that primary asset was there playing that long play, but coming all the way through B.
He's got an HE here. Doesn't look like he's going to use it to stop that bomb plant. Could have done some significant damage. Going to get in front of that Molotov here. First kill connected. The flick over. Not quite enough damage. Primary clutches in the 1v1.
I didn't want to give away his position. You know, if he tosses that nade, obviously we know what's going down there, but I think better to have the element of surprise. This is where Wild essentially turned the round on its head, though. Gave Elo throwers the way back in, and of course, primary asset, both the one to dispatch the mid player and to close the round. This is looking like Elo throwers, they are a fan of close games. Semifinal, they were in overtime in map 1. And I wouldn't be surprised necessarily to see something similar here in the Grands, considering how back and forth we've seen this.
Around there, too, was like a clown fiesta. It started on long. Flash comes out, off shoots, Molly into the wall, Molly to the left of doors, Molly to the right of doors. Literally 3 Mollies that didn't even land. Then Enzo almost clawed it back. He got the double kill on Cat with laser precision, and then he goes for a 3rd kill, and it's just bullets everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I wasted all my accuracy on the first 2.
It's part of this map, just getting back into the pool. You don't have any of those protocols really prepared, I'd imagine.
Yet again, though, this has been a key for them, is aggression in B tons, whether it was up mid, locking down lower. This time, Enzo actually escapes into upper tons. That flattens the push out. This makes it so much more one-dimensional coming in from Elo throwers. You're now locked into a cat or mid play, and they've got this held down pretty nicely. You've got a player on ramp, you've got one on site as well, now playing back towards Goose.
And there's no pressure from long either.
Yeah.
Well, it's a one-prong attack. Not ideal, and they're running right into the jaws of the beast right now. CLX doing a majority of the work right there, but overall, Novum confidently taking that round.
That's a great cut to cams from production. That was fantastic. Just talking back and forth, and it's been that back and forth, but Enzo, the one shit talking there, he is the one who allowed that setup to happen. His push down or up through upper tons, he gets the frag and then gets the heck out of there. So well played from him.
It's an awkward buy from Elo throwers right here.
Yeah, but look at the mid push again. More mid aggression. More mid aggression. It's not just the one player in lower tons. There's 2 now. Oh, they didn't know that was coming. Now this is weird. It is going to come down to a 2-on-2, and guns are going to be picked up here. So this bizarre buy, this sort of ham-fisted purchase, is actually proving to be successful. Now, primary asset is already made all the way up Cat. He can't go back and get the gun. And Rise already got the Galil. Ooh, he doesn't need that. He just had no idea he was there.
Yeah, and that has potentially sealed things off. Kermit has a kit, has the AK, but he's going to have to create his own luck in this scenario, or maybe not. He's just spawning primary asset, but the whiff, saved as Kermit comes away with it. That's Novum in a crucial moment with a huge clutch. Kermit pulls him over the line, and that's 12.
That's pretty incredible from Kermit right there. A bit unlucky that he's just not even looking towards that ramp side from the CT spawn. There was an opportunity there, a big one for Elo throwers to convert that, tie things back up, and now all of a sudden you've got the pressure of map point.
Yet again, though, it was primary asset. That's kind of like the last few rounds. Primary asset's been playing this weird sort of lurk role, but that was so early in the round, like a lurk never developed. Last time it was when he was able to play through B and scoop up the bomb on the bottom of ramp at CT spawn.
Yeah.
And this time it's that late play coming from behind with the Mac 10. They had no idea he was there. They double pushed mid and lower B had a player in it. And again, the mid aggression continues, but this time it's finally punished, and it's a painful one. Yeah, there's been damage dealt to Elo throwers, but this op is gotta be careful. 8 HP, and Mason and Enzo both already dispatched of.
Still, they're also fairly spread out right now. And you get a couple picks mid, and at this point you've got a lot of options. Primary asset, he's pushed all the way up long here. Unfortunately, Lol Trip does go down to the rifle of Vine. But it's a lot of space taken. Nope. it is a bit awkward here. The bomb is down in mid. Oh, Hein gets another kill. He's letting him hear it as well. Primal, he's got a 1v3 to keep his team in this map. Otherwise, there's a lot of pressure on them. Good damage, though. Bringing CLX down low, switching over to that M4.
He's going to get the timing here.
I just missed it.
Did he spot him? I don't think they're close enough to hear him either.
No, they're not.
So he is actually going to be able to get this up with limited difficulty. Molly's going to go down. That obviously kind of tells what the play is going to be. They were thinking maybe he was going B. That bought him a little bit of extra time. It's still very difficult. You've got CLX on 6, Vine's on 91. Kermie's 100. They do have 2 kits. They got a flash and a smoke. There's the first kill he needed, but he's dinked and down low. Found an HE, going to send that one out. That's going to finish off CLX. It's now a 1v1. Kermie trying to make his way up ramp, has the rifle. The shot's currently not on the mark. Primal's trying to lock this one down. It's the sidearm to seal the deal. 13-10. That one going the way of Novum, and they're letting him know.
And it's Kermie again, twice in a row there at the end. He picks up the 1v2, and then, yeah, it shouldn't have been that difficult, but a 1v1 to close out the map. I mean, close as it was, I think that Novum winning that is going to put them in position, I think, to run away with this, actually.
That is very possible. And they knew he was low. They knew that he was on a shred of HP on the bomb site, so switching over to the pistol, just running him down, making it hard for him to aim at it. That's good stuff. But, I mean, Elo Throwers really put up a good fight right here, took it all the way down to the bitter end. Unfortunately, not able to get that one over the line. And like you mentioned, now we go to their map pick, where it's going to be much, much more difficult.
But how many people had that pegged as being a close game? Because I don't think any of us looked at that and thought, oh, like, based on what we saw, the sample size of matches we've seen from Novum, and even obviously the previous matchup, this looked like it should have been a blowout. Like, everyone, I think, was painting this one as a quick 2-0 potentially for Novum because of the fact that, again, they had already played and Novum hadn't struggled against anybody yet. Novum hasn't lost a map yet up until this point. So, and technically, they still haven't, obviously. But that's the most amount of rounds we've seen them surrender against a single opponent throughout the entirety of the event. So it's understandable why one would assume that this was going to be potentially a lopsided match. But even though they lose, they put up a significant fight and even had a chance to win that. There were some rounds there. I go back to that 2v2 with the MAC-10, where Primary Asset gets the opener on site, and it should have been a 2v1
Think about the USP
victory.
round.
Yeah,
USP's
like,
with the one rifle.
yeah, like there's a few rounds there that likely should not have turned out the way that they did, so minor mistakes end up costing them.
Yeah, I think that Elo Throwers got away with Dust 2 because of how scrappy it had to be since it's so new, right? Like, the huge plus for a team like Novum, who, like, 4 out of 5 of these players are on an advanced team together. So they have the protocols, they have a map pool already set. The fact that they are able to entirely negate most of that, I think that's why it was so scrappy and why it got so close. Because Elo Throwers, I mean, these guys, they play in the same pugs, right? Like, they could shoot back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you talked about that previous result, how they 13-0'd him in the best of ones. But to be honest with you, it feels like to me, Elo Throwers, every map/series that they have played, they've just gotten better. And I feel like their confidence is building over time. They're really settling into this LAN environment, and that's really good for them going forward. As we take a look at the Leadify stats here, and we can dive a little bit deeper into the details of how the game went down. Very close overall between these two teams. Super balanced on the side of Elo Throwers. No one really standing out frag-wise.
I mean, Elo Throwers definitely took advantage of the chaos in the early portions of this game. A lot of those mid-pressures and aggressions that we saw from them coming out to kind of catch them off guard. It was once we got into the tail end of the game that they sort of hit their head against a brick wall and couldn't find solutions because at that point, Novum sort of woke up a bit. I think they were just shaking off some of the rust. Not that there should have been any. Obviously, they came into this one off of best of 3. If anything, Elo Throwers had a long break. We'll call it a long break. It was a quick 2-0, but they did have some time down between maps. I am impressed with Elo Throwers overall. Obviously, Novum does win the series, but like you can kind of see why it went the way it did. You mentioned the top to bottom differential is what, ±7. So you have the bottom fragger at 12 kills, the top fragger at 19. That kind of just shows that kill distribution is evenly balanced among everybody. No one's really signing, like you said. There's no aces or 4Ks on their side that was really saving the day. Yeah, they had a couple of 3Ks, but everyone was really pulling their weight.
And there's a big missing piece here. Yeah. Right? I think you just noticed it.
I'm looking right at it.
CLX, right?
Yes.
And he's been a guy that's been so fantastic. We talked about like in the 1v1s and the clutches in these previous series, but here's the thing. He like never had an op. Like, it was very rare that he had that weapon. That's been where he's had so much success. And I think that's another like small victory for this game being so scrappy is that they didn't have that cash.
And that's no op on Dust 2.
Right.
Which is like, historically speaking, is an op dominant map. It always has been. It still should be. It likely always will be. There's just long sight lines on both A and mid. There's plenty of opportunities. Even in the B site, you can make an op work. I think that this is a map where if you can't get your op in play, that is potentially problematic, and a large part of that was how the rounds were bouncing back and forth. And then when we saw it from elo throws, too, it quickly got thrown away. Like, it really didn't have the impact they needed it to have. We saw it at times work out a little bit nicely for Primary Asset, picking up kills on long A, but it didn't feel like it got to stick around for too long.
Well, so now we go from a very long-standing map in Dust 2 to another one that's been around for quite a long time, and that is Mirage. That'll be the map pick of Novum coming up here as they try to complete that 2-0. And I gotta be honest, guys. What are we thinking about the chances for elo throwers right here? What's the percentage?
Hold on a second. What is this?
Oh no.
Average HD damage. That's I feel like incredible that both Loltrip and Riot Pro have like super consistent HEs. They had like
a lot of nade damage that game. How about that?
Sorry, I'll come back to your question. We got another peek.
Well, there's so much to look at here on the scoreboard.
I had to point it out. But yeah, I think to kind of come back to that, what are the chances?
Yeah.
I actually think they're pretty high. Columbia, I will say I have friends on both sides, but I've been an elo throwers enjoyer throughout this tournament, and I don't think that stops here.
I think my chances of them winning this are a little bit lower, but that said, if they kind of approach this the way they just did Dust 2 and have reckless abandon, there's a chance. It's higher than it would have been coming into the series if you said, these are the maps we're going to play, and I hadn't seen them play yet, I probably would have put this chance way lower. Now that I saw map 1, I'm thinking, okay, if they play map 2 like they played map 1, yeah, there's a chance. But I think we're going to take a quick break because I know the players are currently setting up, and we're not quite ready to jump into map 2. We also got to make sure that these lights stay on, and that's how we do it with sponsors. So we're going to go ahead and throw things to a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back in a bit.
Counter-Strike is complex, and it can be difficult to keep track of an entire game. Leadify is a free website which helps you celebrate your accomplishments. Match reports are sent to you when your game ends, so you can compare with your friends while you queue for the next one. Track your true performance with Leadify rating, a metric that punishes baiters and rewards smart decisions. Leadify automatically finds your best play from each game and sends you a highlight. You'll even see when one of your opponents is banned. Track your Counter-Strike performance for free at leadify.com.
There's two at the door, one window.
Okay, flashing. Got the one at the window.
All right, got the two at the door, running through in 3, 2, 1.
Yes! Nice! Let's go!
Woo, dancing in
Everybody,
the moonlight.
Don't let latency ruin a good moment. Dancing in the moonlight. Sonics, the low latency voice chat gamers deserve.
You were breaking. I couldn't hold
Oh,
it.
yeah.
We are back. Map 1's over. It was closer than we would have thought. 13-10 in favor of Novum. Off of the back of not losing a single map, losing 8 rounds max this entire event, beating this team 13-0 in the group stages. One would anticipate a faster series. I think you hit the nail on the head that maybe Dust 2 was definitely to their benefit, and now we're going to Mirage, which is kind of like Dust 2. I mean, it has its moments.
So here's the thing. Yes, but also you don't get the benefits of this team not playing Mirage for the last 2 years. That was part of the charm of getting Dust 2. Mirage, listen, we've all seen, we've all played, and as much as that's maybe a good thing, it's definitely a good thing for Novum.
Yeah, definitely more strategy heavy. It's not as brawly, I would say, but still quite heavy in that regard. Although, I think it just goes back to the fact that the map has been in the active pool so long. We know for a fact that Novum have been at least somewhat practicing it. They've got their protocols. I'm sure Elo throwers do as well. But I do think it's going to be much more difficult this time around.
I mean, Pug teams know how to play this map.
Yeah,
it's been around for so long at this point. Like, if you don't know a nade on Mirage, just uninstall the game.
I hope nobody out there doesn't know nade on Mirage.
Like, honestly,
you should know your nade.
You should know at least a few. Yeah. If
you
you're
don't
the
know
guy that's like, we're
stairs?
doing an A execute, who's got smokes? And you don't have one, bruh. Well, how long have you been playing the game? One, you probably haven't been around for very long. Or you were never really that serious about playing CS. Because it's really not that hard to learn a few of these. And they now have maps that make it so easy that teach you how to do it.
True.
Come on. We used to have to learn them ourselves.
Full-on YouTube channels dedicated to...
And now they give you this absurd crosshair. That's like a submarine thing that you can line up. Like, it's never been easier.
Are you a fan of that? I just curious.
No. I think it's weird. I don't know if I don't hate it. I just don't like it either. It's just bizarre.
You can turn it off.
Yeah, and I will. Because I feel like I'm not going to say I don't need it, like I'm so good, but it's just like I feel like it's going to be more distracting than helpful for me. I think it is a good thing potentially for like new players if they know what it means. The problem is they won't. No one knows what it means. What is the 10? What's the 5? Like, what do these numbers stand for? Does anyone know?
I've already seen like a couple of like Twitter videos of people like setting up for some utility off the back of those, and I couldn't tell exactly what they meant. Like what even they were with the big crosshair. I still didn't know what they were lining up with. So I don't know if it's helping me yet. We'll find out. I see a lot of not the game over for Novum, so I think whatever's happened there they're getting back. We were just about ready to go, but we're gonna have to be waiting a minute or two probably.
A couple players completely quitting the game. We've got someone in aimbots as well, so possibly a server change or something along that line.
So there are a number of bugs with the most recent patches that came out from John Valve. He pushed the button knowing that we were doing this event. Thanks, John Valve.
Of course.
And it's created some crashing. So I think it's just creating a fresh server, and they should be back in, no problem. Day one, it was a lot of fun for our server team to try to figure that one out because it was like, it runs fine for about 60 seconds, and then the games close and the server close with no error or warning. It just shuts down, and the logs, empty.
Huh.
There's literally no, it's just like the game just was force closed, like as if you alt F4.
That's rough.
Yep. Very interesting.
I mean, y'all did manage to figure it out, so.
Yeah,
Shout
to
out
their
server
credit,
team.
they were able to figure it out. So, good job, guys. But still, some things that are lingering, some gremlins in the system that are being rectified. But we should be jumping in. I'm like looking. Probably your guys are all really confused because it just looks like we're staring on the void. There is a window in this room that looks right out at the one side of the stage, so we can see player POVs right now, and we actually see the side of Novum as they're getting into the game. It looks like we've got 9 in, and now I think the 10th just connected, so we should be in the game any minute now.
Sweet.
Getting things figured out pretty quickly. Yeah, we've mentioned a couple times we are in an aquarium, so.
Yeah,
if you've been,
it's very fishbowl-y.
If you've been hanging out for all the Frag Miami, you'll be a knower. Here we go. Ready back and ready to roll. Novum, of course, one map away from taking the dub here, claiming the crown. I was going to say trophy, but
we don't really have a trophy.
We don't have a trophy? Unless there's one hidden away somewhere.
No, there is no trophy.
We'll just make one.
Yeah. Your trophy is
friends you
up
made
here. It's up
along the
here.
way?
It's an NFT, but it doesn't exist. So just like an NFT, it's not real.
And now all the crypto bros are mad.
That's cool. You can find me at upmind_ on Twitter.
Well, the single smoke that Novum had is thrown over towards the connector area. The jungle gap will be covered, but Elo throwers are fully right now in a retake setup for this A site. They've already gotten 1 kill. Enzo down. Now they'll just slowly inch closer and try and take back this space, reclaim it.
Yeah, but here's where Novum, well, they were doing a good job. They claimed a bunch of space towards connector and jungle. In a little bit grimy, though. Not so easy to find. CLX will be forced to the issue, and with the help of Kermie, this is now down to Riot Pro. All alone and now gone.
And he actually heard the comm, too. I think it was Kermie who said it. This guy has the kit. As if to identify who had the kit so they could keep it as far away from the site as possible. Good comm. It's not one you often hear, but in a pistol round, obviously there's no guarantee that the kit is, there's going to be more than 1 in play. Sometimes you don't have any, but I'd say at this level of play, you're at least guaranteed 1. Now, the thing is, too, we have to be careful. These USP rounds have proven to be a little bit more successful than one would expect. Not necessarily for Elo throwers as much as it was for Novum, but still, these deserve to be respected, and you can see that with the way that Novum's playing. They're playing much more of a default setup. They've got players in Palace, 1 on ramp, 1 towards TV room, and 1 deep mid. So they're really just setting up, looking for where this aggression is likely to be coming from. Nice shot.
Found it out. CLX.
He wanted it so bad.
Yeah, he did. Confidence to reswing after getting like insta-dinked and seeing 3 players running at you with the USB as well. You have the 1 AK. I love that from CLX. And that's the confidence and the type of play that we were missing a little bit from him on Dust 2. Didn't end up mattering. Novum still win the map, but he's pulling it off like that. I mean, that is huge.
I like the deviation in statistics because of that round. If you look at CLX's ADR right now, it's 367. I don't think that's a sustainable number, but I wish you the best of luck.
It's a few ADRs.
And also, he's got he's got our producer, Chez, his favorite score is a 7-11. Chez had the Slurpee T-shirt on. He went and bought a Slurpee ornament.
An ornament?
Yeah, he has a Slurpee ornament.
Oh, man.
I didn't even know those existed.
Apparently they do.
Look at where Enzo is right now.
Primal's looking.
Turnaround, though. It's actually CLX that gets the kill, but Enzo initiates the contact, and all the kills are going the way of Novum right now.
Nice molly. Riot is going to push through this one. Takes a good amount of damage. He was low on HP, so it's not exactly that hard to finish, but now what do you do? Primary asset holding down the murder hole. And it looks like Riot Pro is just going to be posted up on Scaffold's catwalk as well. Round is going to be Novum's to take. There is unlikely to be any semblance of a push or retake attempt here from Elo throwers.
Riot's grabbed the AUG. And it's a nasty AUG, too.
AUG, Chameleon, or Riot?
Well, Riot's... This isn't Riot. This is Counter-Strike. We're at Valve.
But his name is Riot.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one. That's on me. Primary asset. Goes down to the bomb. Not the best way to save a gun.
They do at least have that AUG. That's an expensive weapon. So if you want to save anything, you save that.
There was a bunch of like AUG enjoyers at the beginning of CS2, and they have now all crawled back into the cracks.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. I was never on board, but...
All right, then. Oh, I see a Swag 7.
Double molly down at the mouth of underpass. And he tries to get out. It just isn't happening. And, you know, the kills are happening so quickly across the map. It's almost difficult to just keep up with the pace of play at this point because that's kills over on A, kills in mid, and the two remaining over in B. You've got primary asset pushing up with the Mag 7, and Wild is back on site with that salvaged AUG. The rare AUG buy. It's not one you see very often. And oh no, you're looking. Is he stuck?
I think
he was stuck.
Step bro?
Another bug?
I think he was legitimately stuck in the wall, or his game crashed. I see him fixing things in Windows. I think his game may have crashed.
Ooh.
End task. Yeah, he's restarting his CS. I don't think his game crashed though. I think there used to be this bug where you could literally get stuck in textures and you couldn't move, like long time ago. And it's happened in other games as well, where you just like get glitched into something. And it's possible that's what happened.
Whatever it was, fortunately for Novum, it's not going to end up costing the round or anything like that. Wild will give up the AUG, grab the AK, and that's another weapon to be grabbed. Primary asset will pick up A1S. I mean, it might be 4-0, but those are a couple of small victories at the end of the day to put Elo throwers in a better spot. And despite what was a bit of an investment here, they were saving. They left plenty to buy next round.
Yeah, and you have full loss bonus as well. 4 in a row converted here from Novum, and we are going to get another pause in the action.
It's a tech pause to fix the issue. He's just reconnecting to the server. So I don't know what that was. I mean, it was pretty obvious. He was standing against the wall with a knife out. He's getting shot in the back, and he doesn't do anything. It's clear that there's a problem with the game. But, I mean, come on. Valve is a small indie company. It's impossible for them to keep up.
They don't have a lot of resources.
Give them a break.
No, exactly. It's a one-man dev team, which sadly could still be true. based on update release schedules. Who knows? Who knows?
I was listening to Talking Counter, and they were saying devs, plural, that were at the major, so at least there's 2.
I've actually spoken to one of the devs. It was a long, long time ago. I'm talking 2014 into 2015, I believe. This is right when I got into casting CS. And Cobble had just been re-released with the changes. And I had done some like, just content around the map and taken feedback from pro players. And I actually got an email address from someone and was talking to someone on an email. It was a long time ago, though. Who knows if he even works there. Ooh. But it's irrelevant. The round is live. It's 4-on-3. So quickly the action develops, as we've seen thus far throughout the series. These players are eager to get this game over with, it seems. They're just done with LAN. We've had enough.
Primal finding a very good timing, though, through connector. He ends up going down, but not before taking 2 Ts with him. That puts Novum in what I think might be their first, like, man disadvantage situation this entire map. I don't think they've been in that spot just yet. Get a boost up into window. Setup, essentially to give A.
I'm sure they'll allow that bomb plant to go down. Enzo, though, connecting onto the head of Riot. That'll take the op away, but they have not cleared out deep enough into CT spawn, allowing Lultrip to get one. It is just that one kill, though. Now a 2v2 in the post plant.
Some way, somehow, this is turned and allowed Novum way back in. Enzo playing quite aggressively here and not even prepared for the possibility that Wild would be swinging from jungle. Isolating the 1v1s, though. Kermi, big clutches towards the end of Dust 2, and he's got another one here on Mirage. 1v2 for Kermi. And he's got another one standing tall as he is a giant.
He really is tall.
I gave him a handshake yesterday, and I barely come up to his armpit. It's it's crazy, and I'm like average height.
Oh man, I really like this from Kermi as well. You know, you can hear the noise from the flank, and then he throws that flash off the wall. It pops just to the left of him behind the wall so that he doesn't get flashed, but if the guy peeks from stairs, which he did end up doing, he's going to get full blind. So also just really nice accuracy as well. Just a good individual highlight play from Kermi right there. So the winning ways continue for Novum. It's now 5 in a row converted. Elo throwers, they do have a full buy here, including an AWP. CLX takes a bunch of damage right there, and finally it's capped off by the bullet to the body from the AWP. Another one from Lultrip as well. They're slowly just picking these guys apart.
A little bit ambitious to try and get into window. They thought that was the only cat guy, but incorrect. Somebody chilling in ladder. And Wild will take that one every day of the week, given the opportunity. Last time Elo throwers had a man advantage, they couldn't convert. Now they have a 2-man advantage. Well, they did.
It's always when you say it that things change.
I might have to take responsibility.
Well, Lultrip, he's in a pretty good spot right here. I think for sure Mason understands that there is the threat of an A-main player sitting in this exact spot, but he's just kind of holding, waiting for Vine to reconnect over here and try and pinch onto that A site. Still, though, it is dangerous.
I mean, the fact that Vine's seeing nobody, they've got to know Lultrip is deep. There's no way there's 0 players here today.
Yeah, they were watching it. I just don't think they expected the immediate peak. It didn't help that he was so low on HP. So now Mason's in the clutch seat, and he's already been spotted. Triple. The first round on the board for Elo throwers. You can hear a bit of applause, as again, the underdogs have historically been the team that the crowd roots for, regardless of who it is. Because last game it wasn't Elo throwers, it was their opponents.
Lultrip does such a good job, though, of being patient in this round. Right? It's so easy to get overzealous in these types of scenarios. Instead, just waits the right time. As soon as he hears the bomb plant, he's going wide, and arguably that is maybe a little too aggressive, but it catches Novum off guard.
Yeah, at the end of the day, shuts it down, and him just staying alive in that situation is putting so much pressure onto Novum. They have to fear that threat over towards A main. Right back to it, though. Novum with the full buy-in. Mason's made his way deep down towards mid, and they've actually popped out of A right now. The battle's taking place over here. Vine with 1 kill, but Primal in return has a double. And the fight continues. It's so scrappy back and forth here. Riot with that op, watching the cross in case they want to try and plant it for default, but it's going to get planted for cat side.
Riot's got all the utility. He has 2 players coming back in. They're all going to be through CT. And in the meantime, Riot, I don't know if he's sure, but I think he's got confirmation that nobody's towards the site itself. So Firebox, somewhat clear. Lurk smoke out to cover off the swing. It doesn't work against Mason, though, who's hanging out at stairs. Elo throwers trying to force engagement. This is all not going to work out so well. Wild, he might have 2 kills, but I don't think there's time. He might actually have enough time. If I tell a lie, he's got it. Elo throwers, they might not have deserved that round, but they got it.
Yeah, that's definitely highway robbery right there from Elo throwers. They've got that one final smoke. Might as well just toss it on the bomb, say your prayers, and they make it happen. So, you know, it doesn't matter how you do it. It's just do it. And they did.
The fact that Wild just is able to get away with it too is awesome. I love that. And this is broken Novum. They're now all over the place. This is Tech-9's. Mason has an AK, but that's just because he had a bunch of cash.
Can't count them out, though. They were the ones that were able to win 4 USPs and an M4.
Yeah.
So just because they don't have the greatest buy doesn't mean they're counted out. Mason will strike first. Do they clear this? That is the ultimate question. You've got Primary Asset around the corner. They're actually going to jump out and challenge this guy on Catwalk. That means Primary Asset is going to activate pretty quickly. Does end up getting 1 kill, but in the same time, the teammate on sites were dying, trying to make their way out of the window. This guy on site likely not long for this world. Hold on, he stays alive a little longer. And a fall onto Kermie. Good luck. Godspeed. Nice shot coming out from the Tech-9. Hold on, this is a one-on-one. How quickly this has turned around. Both players low, too. Kermie's on 31 HP, Loltrip on 34. It's really going to come down to who takes first action here.
There's no bullets in that M4. He's on the Tech-9, and there's 7 in the chamber.
There's so many angles to look at here as well. He's got to clear all this. The
across.
timing is incredible.
I think he's getting... Oh, he's been spotted. Does he throw the nade?
He has a smoke.
Does he throw the nade? Yes, he does. Oh, he's 3 HP!
Oh!
No! The nade just goes a little too far.
Oh.
I thought the nade was going to do it.
It looked like he had it set up, but... Oh, that's tough. But Kermie, another round that should really have been a lot easier for ELO throwers. Not the case, thanks to Kermie in the clutch. The ELO throwers will stay alive. Loltrip connecting once again. But that's now 2 rounds in a row that ELO throwers are very close to losing out. They're doing okay, but they don't have extra cash, and they don't have an op either.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, even if you don't win that round, it's so expensive. You bring it down to the 1v1. And so reinvestments are going to be a little bit of a struggle here for ELO throwers if they don't win this round and if they don't win it cleanly. So 5 M4s, all of the silence variety, and each player with 1 grenade in hand. So they're going to try and find value in every single one of those nades.
Yeah, they put a lot of presence, ELO throwers, towards trying to hang on to mid early into this round. Unfortunately, Novum opted out of those initial engagements and retook a little bit later. One shot. Enzo goes by the wayside. Kermie, though, he is lurked out onto the A site. When is he going to get spotted? Right now, but not before getting one. Mason take out the jungle player in the process. Flamethrowers aren't really out of this round, but the fact that the Novum are allowed to just lurk up A in that fashion is crazy.
Oh, Riot goes to check the window. That ends up being his demise. And with that kill from Mason, even things back up. He's going to play this out in the open with CLX covering for him. That's really nice right there. Now they'll just back up, play these deep positions. No need to give yourself away by any means. But Wild, he is this clutch master. He's had many, many clutches in this tournament so far. Unfortunately, it's just so difficult right now. You've got a full rotation through Palace.
Oh, just don't peek at this point. Do not peek. You've got this one in the bag if you hold this line currently. And yeah, wait for your teammate to actually get a better angle. Well, I mean, it was already sketchy enough. You can kind of see the person's head over that box, and you could see it initially. He was trying to find the angle. He didn't quite get it. But, I mean, Novum didn't really feel like they had a place in this round. They felt like this one should have been lost, especially right here as the plant's going down in blatant sight of CT spawn. But it was the op from CLX that was holding the line, making sure that the bomb could be secured.
It was an active decision from CLX, too, because he had a smoke, actually. He could have smoked CT. Could have smoked anything. Instead, elects to just hold and find anyone on the swing.
It's bad for your health, though, smoking.
That is true. Novum will make their way onto an empty B site. Well, mostly empty. Primal was there, at least in spirit. He's evacuated. Low throwers their A hold strengthened by numbers, but there was nobody to be found.
I mean, not a whole lot to say here.
Okay, Enzo. Alrighty, bow.
That's unfortunate. Free B site, free round essentially. Didn't have much going into it anyway for your elo throwers, so not a total waste of time. Now at this point, you're just maybe trying to possibly get a weapon out of them. CLX, he's low HP. Wild's still fighting. I don't think any of this is recoverable.
No. I mean, how...
Maybe after the bomb explosion. He's going to try and find it.
How many rounds do elo throwers need on their CT side? I think that's the question.
More than this.
Running through my brain at the moment, they win 3 rounds in a row, but they're all very close defuses. And so they have no cash, have to eco, essentially full eco into it. And this will be, if they lose this one, their last actual bye, even though they'll be at 3-round loss bonus. Gonna keep fighting with this mid control, at least initially. The first round of utility for Novum effectively pushing them off, and without a third player cat really ready, I don't think it made sense. Primal, this is where he got that double previously. Trying to lurk through the con smoke. This is why that smoke can be so effective, but he doesn't know that as soon as he tries to get back away, he's going into the arms of Enzo. He wasn't even required. And Riot has no clue. He's now knowing what's gone down. And somehow it's a 3-on-3 afterward, or 4-on-3 rather. Elo Throw is getting the better of this one.
Good reposition here from Riot Pro. Even though he dies, just gives his team a little bit more of a fighting chance. It's going to come down to Kermi, who's solo on the A site going for the plant. The bomb goes down, and now things get a little bit weird. Oh, good. He starts to reposition, and he's going to move himself towards CT spawn. You've got Wild right around the corner, and he's jiggling, clearing all angles, but Kermi wins that one-on-one. Now realizes it's unlikely he's coming from this position, and he's been spotted on site, so it's all down to time at this point. Has to play this one wisely. Let us not forget the smoke defuse from just a few rounds ago, but Novum, Kermi's got ice in his veins right now. He is not falling for this one. Now the tap comes through. He just has to buy more time, and he's got it. He's won the round regardless of whether or not he gets the kill. That is a huge clutch.
That's so well played from Kermi right there. He is not baited at all. Sticks in his exact position. Damn near took his hand off the mouse when that stick comes in. You even hear the smoke going down. Surely there's at least maybe a peek in to see if he's around the corner. No, holds his ground, and that first kill on CT spawn, huge as well. Kermi is just firing on all cylinders, by the way. He's now 15-5.
Not only that, I mean, this is now in the series, his second 1v2. He's had a 1v1 in there as well. And, again, considering the fact that the Ninja happened previously in this game, like I said, ice in his veins. The fact that he's not even checking it out.
Calls the bluff entirely. And that was a round that really looked like it could go Elo Thrower's way, which could have made things look a little bit better score line-wise. There's Mason again. You seem to see his name at that top of the kill feed fairly often in the early goings of most of these rounds, but 2 kills right back. Stays even.
Awkward fight in spawn. I think that was an MP9 versus an AK at distance, and Kermi barely won that one.
This one not at distance. Wild. Nothing close about that. Here's the audio cue and can get all the way back in to underpass. Problem is, in the meantime, Vine has worked out A, finding nobody home at all. The bomb going to join him sooner rather than later, but Riot is about to be in spawn. He's got a chance to deny this plant, but he doesn't want to give it away. And he will indeed deny the player, but not the plant.
Yeah, I was thinking he might have just run over and try and stuck that defuse. Now it's all up to Wild trying to meet with him at the contact point. But Vine's been able to get ahead of this smoke and now tuck himself securely behind Triple. He does have the HP advantage. Gonna go around the corner here. Vine listening for these footsteps, trying to just dance around, keep it unpredictable. Good damage, but not quite enough. The headshot connects for Vine, and Novum with a commanding 9-3 lead at the end of the half.
That smoke screws him there. Yeah. I mean, big time. He's just trying to smoke off actually CT. He provides a lurk smoke for Novum to work from. And great patience towards the end as well, just not to overswing. Keep creating those question marks, but this is Novum. I might have to cash in my cope from Dust 2 and put my hands up on this one because no one look unstoppable right now.
I mean, this is not a map where a T-side half is an anomaly, but a 9-3 T-side half is certainly against the norm. We'll see what Elo Thrader dude, Jesus, man. He's feeling it. Obviously, that's a great kill coming out in response, but way to start that one. Primary asset's going to have to watch for the remainder of the round. The CTs continuing their push back towards spawn. They're going to be greeted by a double play, and it's working out quite nicely for Elo Throwers. The dualies at that distance, not really the greatest. They've got 2 sets of them, though. Let's see what they can do when those guns start barking.
This distance a little bit better. Not this one. This one. And unfortunately, they're not quite accurate enough to collect anything. I mean, hey, listen. I know it's early, but...
Jeez, that's clean.
Especially off the back of that opening shot.
But that's also clean. This is equally as nice. One tap with the P250.
Like, Elo Throwers, this is their way back in, you know? Pick up a pistol round. Get started a little bit better than previously seen.
Yeah, you obviously need that one, but Novum not going to take it lying down. They've fully bought out here. We got quite a variety of weapons.
Well, you don't have that many options when you...
Very spread out, and they're walking right into it.
Best
Those
gun in the game.
5.7s are eating. Yikes.
Tags aplenty. That HE should do it. No!
Too far.
Ultrip gets away while trying to punch in the numbers, but that's denied, and even more so as Novum set themselves up with the 5.7s, crossfires as they jump out the window.
That's a tough one right there, right? Because you have the immediate response from Novum after you get the pistol round. More often than not, when you win those pistol rounds, you're able to convert on the second.
Especially for the T side.
Exactly. And now it's a completely different situation. They're gonna force buy again, but the force buy here for them is much worse than it was for Novum.
See how it rolls? A little bit of a boost scenario. Stacked on top. Dr. Seuss style.
Who's up next?
In window. I don't think anybody else is going to want to try and take that.
Keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. Kill me eventually,
Oh.
right? Kill me eventually.
Right, does end up winning that out. Still a chance here. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot available to them. You got a Tech 9, a Desert Eagle, and 1 flashbang, it looks like. Bomb will get retrieved, and they're now going to work their way through mid. Nobody's watching mid right now, so...
Speaking of retrievals, that is the issue. There's not really retrievable weapons for Elo Throwers to grab up. If and when they get onto B site proper, they got to cross market. That's the issue. But then there's something to work with there. I think there's one down at Van. But getting there is the issue, and CLX will not be taking any prisoners today.
Closer and closer, Novum are inching to shutting the door here and gaining the title of champion of Frag Miami. 2 rounds away. And Elo Throwers, that was a force buy also, so not a whole lot left in the tank here.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, their faces are definitely a little bit flatter than they were coming into the series. But I also think they're like, okay, you know, we still got a chance. We can still fight back. And if not, hey, we played well. We played hard. We brought everything we could. We almost won map 1. I think if they won map 1, maybe the dynamic of this match shifts a little bit, but this game is not quite over yet, and they know it. Tech 9's coming out, and it's a...
Oh my God.
God. Maybe the round is over. It's just 1 player remaining. Those armorless Glocks just easily taken care of. That's a massive 4K stopping the push from being any threat whatsoever.
I mean, a massive multi-frag, but I think 2 of those were just a collat through a box.
Thumbs up to the... You know, it's gotten quieter, and I think a part of that is just knowing, hey, we've already won.
Yeah.
Like, let's not, you know, let's not kick them while they're down.
Oh, my God.
When you got a close game,
yeah,
speak your truth.
Right.
When you're up by a lot, it's good to just show some humility.
Yeah, we saw that in the last game as well, where Novum were taking it away pretty handedly. And we talked about it. Like I said then, probably know what they've got.
Well, the strangest thing was actually an Elo Throwers match where it was map 3, and suddenly both teams got super quiet. After like a good series of chirps back and forth, it just was like dead. It was very bizarre. Here, though, it does make sense. And unfortunately, Elo Throwers are going to have to win 8 rounds in a row just to force overtime. Then they're going to have to win those overtime rounds to force map 3. Definitely a tall task.
Yeah, uphill battle would be an understatement, I would say. And they at least do have Enzo. He's caught on the aggression through mid. Had a bit of a quiet game, but the rest of his team has definitely done well to rally around him.
There's no way they anticipate this, right? No way they expect this guy to still be here.
Well, they threw a Molotov over towards this exact position, too. So.
But they're still leery of it. You can see the way they're approaching this one. They assume someone's here, so there must have been a call that there was someone there.
Yeah. There's no way they resmoke top mid there unless they're anticipating something.
Yeah. Wonder what the call was. They did have somebody A-ramp. Maybe they heard a tick on the molly or the footsteps. Certainly possible that a call came from the A-ramp player.
The advantage going to be pushed. Elo Throwers, the lurkout B from primary asset. And there wasn't really a clear indication of where they wanted to go, but with that frag found, there is now certainty. Mason, guy that you mentioned, Danny, right? He's been fantastic for Novum. He's actually not a part of this Novum roster in ESEA, but he has been incredible individually.
Well, that is the confirmation that Elo Throwers needed. They know that Mason's over here, so free plant on that B site. Mason will not take another peek in. They're calling him out for it, but this is the right move.
What did they say? Did you hear it?
I think it was "come peek me."
Oh, I don't think that's what I heard. It sounded like it was one word, two syllables.
Word. Started with a P.
Simply don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Simply don't understand. Sorry.
Oh man. Maybe you are that word then.
Okay then. All right.
Well, he's going for this right now.
Yeah, I mean he's not afraid.
Okay.
You're up 12-4.
They got the money. Well, kind of. But yes.
You're not really concerned. Yes, you do have some money. You've got one player who's low, but really, like, you can afford this. And even if you can't, you can still afford it.
I mean, and it's these scenarios where, like, come on, give it a try. What a way to close a tournament out. A 1v3 clutch.
That would be nice. Not going to happen this time, though.
No, good trade there on the site. Here's where the cash flow issues start to arise, but as mentioned, pretty much everybody's okay. Kermie's the one who's got to make some sacrifices.
For the greater good.
I mean, the fact, considering how well he's been playing, that he's making the sacrifices too.
Fight taking place towards top mid. Wild's going to win that one. He's been very consistent in that position. He had a teammate right next to him in case he does go down for the trade. Primary gets a kill as well. Quickly 2 players up.
It's the second time in a row that he's been able to lurk out to the B site and find the van player. CLX has confirmation that nobody's crossed bench, but nothing further. Still big advantages for Elo Throwers. And because of the presence that Lol Trip has been making towards A, this is not a guarantee for Novum about where this bomb's headed.
He saw that shadow too, so he's going to call it out. Now he misses on the move. This is a critical kill because this could change the dynamic of this round. Kermie's on site. He's got a P250. That bomb is ramped. Depending on how that exchange goes ramped, maybe things go a different way. The biggest issue right now is look at the clock. There's 30 seconds left for that bomb to get all the way from A ramp towards the B site. That means it's a nonstop run towards the B site. It could come down to Kermie killing this guy as he plants and winning the round and ending the series.
And Novum will start realizing as the time goes lower that A is not going to be a possibility. So they're going to start rotating over.
Oh, my God.
Kermie talking himself behind the bench here. 10 seconds to go. Oh, he's just going to go.
He did it.
He's won the round.
He did it. He did exactly what I said was going to happen. He kills the planter. They have no time left. They go for the plant. It's not going to happen. It is going to be a victory off of a P250 lurking behind bench.
And guess who? It's Kermie once again. He keeps getting away with it. He keeps pulling it off. And it puts Novum all the way through a victory here at Frag Miami in 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, you could hear the crowd booing. Obviously, everyone just loves an underdog story. But Novum, well earned. The fact that they didn't drop a single map this whole event, the most rounds they surrendered in a single map was 10, and it was in the finals. Until then, it was 13-0s, 13-1s, 13-2s. They had 13-8, but that felt like an anomaly.
Yeah. I mean, that's because it was. Even in this close Dust 2 game, it was poise all the way from Novum. And, I mean, we've seen in, like, Tier 1 CS as well, like, it's not necessarily always easy being the one you expect to win because there's that pressure on your shoulders. Novum had that all the way through, and they delivered on every single game.
And here's the thing you need to know, too. Like, everyone gets upset about trash talk for some reason because everyone's fragile. I don't really understand. You say it in the server, and then the game's over, and it's dead. It's not like that continues afterwards, and you can see the respect mutually across both sides. It's an understanding of what just happened. Like, yeah, they lost. Yes, they won. But, at the end of the day, like, you keep it in the server, and then when it's over, it's done. So, hard-earned victory from Novum. I mean, they did have to trudge and beat literally every single team here. We had round-robin groups, and they played everyone. And then they go into the playoffs, and they do the same thing they did during the group stages. They go undefeated. I
think, to be fair, like, this round-robin setup, like this format, is probably one of the hardest to go undefeated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Obviously, round robin BO1 is a different story because you pretty much get a map every single time. That's why we see Anubis, Ancient Vertigo a lot. There's like those 3 maps were played pretty regularly. It's because you're going to get rid of Dust 2, you're going to get rid of Nuke, you're going to get rid of those maps that you don't want to play. Inferno is actually up there, Mirage as well. Those maps are going to just get taken care of. So ultimately, you really don't need to have a deep pool during the group stages.
Nope.
It's once you get to the best of 3s that things kind of get a little bit more complicated, but they also had such a advantage just historically. Their careers are a little bit more established than some of the players coming into this event.
Yeah.
They've got a much higher level of experience.
Well, we have the stats as well here from Leadify to kind of see how things close. It wasn't the best map 2 from Enzo, but the rest of the team was right there. And I think that you have to talk about Kermie, continue to talk about Kermie, I guess. Across the board, his clutch factor was incredible. And you could see in how many multi-frags he picked up, 6 over the course of this map. But he wasn't the only one. What are you doing?
The couch is like, it's moving.
Loose.
It's moving.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to, I think. I think they join together with other couches so the arm comes off. It was messing with my head. I know, I'm distracted.
It's messing with my head.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about Counter-Strike.
Come on, be a professional, dude. What are you doing?
Cut out the noise.
On your game.
Block out the noise.
Yeah, what is
Meanwhile,
this?
Box over here, like jumping on the couch, like going monkey mode or something. I don't know.
I'm trying to prepare you for the big time, all right?
Well, Novum pull off the clean sweep. They don't drop a single map in this entire tournament.
Yes.
So
what was that? It was 8 maps during the group stages. Because even though there was 9 rounds, you only played 8 teams. So 8 maps during the groups and 4 more, 12 straight maps, 12-0 in their maps. I would love to know what their average round was, like their average round differential. It had to be like it was like +9.
Yeah.
Something along that lines.
I mean, it was crazy for the groups. I think that 12 or 13-10 definitely skewed it a little bit closer to maybe 6. But otherwise, they dominated.
Well, congratulations to Novum. They are your champions of Frag Miami. What a tournament it's been. So much fun overall. I wish it was 3 days. Had to get cut down to 2, unfortunately, but still so much fun for everybody involved, for us as the casters, for the teams, for the players, for the spectators. Everyone here enjoyed it. A great setting as well. Thank you to the Rock Esports Center for allowing us to use their venue and make this happen. This is my first LAN experience personally, and it was so much fun, and I will definitely be back for another Frag.
Yeah, I think that even though it maybe got truncated down, this was a great time. And honestly, if you didn't come to the event, you're dumb.
You missed out.
You missed out. I mean, we had like 80-degree weather. There's lizards everywhere. There was a lizard in the venue yesterday just crawling around, minding his own business. There's lizards outside. We got a Taco Bell in the parking lot. This was like elite status for a LAN event. Like, we didn't have to go very far to get anything we needed. But honestly, like, just the fact that we were able to come down to a part of the U.S. that we haven't really been able to come to, and honestly has been largely underserved when it comes to LAN environments.
Yes.
That was huge. So shout outs to the teams who did attend. Again, shout out to Rock for letting us do this event here here. Shout out to our sponsors for making it possible, for you guys for coming in and volunteering your time, all of our volunteers as well who are through this window here in the booth. Not Ches. He sucks. All of the problems were his fault. If anything broke during the stream, it was literally him. He's actually the one who pushed the update. So if you want to, in chat, just hashtag FChez in the chat. You guys will actually get a donation of money from Ches personally. He told me this before the show.
Like,
yeah,
right? This
yeah,
is
that's
actually
him. Yeah. Or actually, if you want to find him on Twitter, he told me he's got lots of skins he's giving away. He needs you to DM him. I'm sure you can find his account. It won't be that hard. So I can get it for you guys if you want.
Isn't it just at Chespuff?
I think it's at Chespuff. It might be Chespuff Ops. I can't remember. Let's see.
Well, he's gonna find it.
We're gonna
We'll
find
be
out.
here until he finds it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait for just a second.
We're gonna see the slide, the stinger come by. Oh man.
It's original Chespuff.
I'm
Chespuff, all one word, one F. If you find him on Twitter, he told me he's got multiple Dragon Lords that he's doing a giveaway. He hasn't announced.
If I knew you'd take it back, someone else to hold you, someone else to know. Know you better than your ghost. I thought we were even closer, but I think you should know that you let me down. Never been so low since you know around. So how's it feel now? Keep bleeding out. Don't need me now. Better without. But do you even know that you let me down? You tell me for once. Tell me what we're missing. 'Cause I don't think we're done. I can learn to listen. Listen to you. Like you want me to. I wouldn't have told you if I knew you'd take it back. Someone else to hold you. Someone else if this is over. Someone else who pulls you closer. Someone else to give me closure. So tell me if it's really over.